Yeah. Y'all already know what it is, man. Peace and black power, man. This the purpose why. This is the reason why I had to make that song, Final Call, pertaining to the sisters, pertaining to the women. Because they got to get the hell up out of this craziness, man. Naphtali got spanked like a child. She got spanked like a baby. And Tehuti practically put her over his knee and spanked her like a little born baby. Like a baby. Acting up like she knows information, like she knows science and all this stuff. She didn't even know that humans were animals. Considered animals. She thinks that the world was only 6,000 years old. And so she went up against a powerful teacher. And she just thought that she could be able to do it. But you know what? It's not all her fault. It's the man that's in her life that puts her out there and teaches her this foolishness. It's the man in her life that teaches her this foolishness. And so he lets her get out there in the open and look dumb and look stupid while he hides in the bushes. And sometimes you can hear him, if you got headphones, you can hear him whispering to her, say this and say that. And so that's why I made this song called The Final Call for the sisters. And we're going to get on with our brother Tehuti in a minute, right after this song.
Yeah. That is for my sisters trapped in religion. Wake up and free the babies. Sa.neter speak the truth, he's on a mission. The house of consciousness, the final call. Will you Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? The house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. I use the Bible like a lantern in the night, trying to wake up my sister to light. The house is closing in, it's a total mess. You ignore my wisdom, the ultimate test. Step inside the HOK, it's the toughest terrain, where the truth hits hard, the cuts bring pain. I try to wake you with the word in my hand, to get you to the truth, to help you understand. I gave you the scriptures, chapters and verse. I gave you the keys to break the curse. I gave you Torah to unlock with keys. Break the mental chains and be free. The final call. Yeah, will your Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? The house of consciousness, the final call. Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. They call you apostle like you a prophet of God, telling lies and fooling people can't be that hard. You preaching from YouTube looking for a handout. I'm standing on family trying to bring the truth out. Welcome to the HOK, where the truth resides. No more hiding in the pews where the dies. We speak against the Bible just to wake the inner sight. Come inside the HOK doors, we bring the light. The house of consciousness, the final call. Will your Bible thumpers wake up, all just fall? Stop believing in fairy tales, especially Paul. Sa.neter, don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, wake the sister up. Don't stop, don't stop. Sa.neter, don't stop, wake the sister up. Don't stop, wake the sisters up. Don't stop, don't stop.
All right. Naphtali, you gotta come out of this nonsense. You gotta come out of this nonsense. It's gonna be the truth of thought, new school of thought. You ain't believing in the earth is only 3,000 years. You can't believe in that we are not primates. You can't believe that we are not animals in that realm right there, because Tehuti practically gave you a nice teaching. And I hope you learned something, but I know you didn't, because you got a husband that's out there putting you out there, and he's probably laughing at you. He's laughing at you. Not only is he laughing at you, but the world is laughing at you. And without any further ado, I bring to you my brother, Tehuti, in the building. What up, man? What's going on, Tehuti? I can't hear you. Let me unmute you. Or you unmute you. There you go. Go ahead. What's happening?
Can you hear me now? Mic check.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Uncle Justin Shuna Ma'at, and peace and love to everyone that's watching. And this is the first time I saw the actual flyer section. I saw a little on my phone, and it just showed me in Naphtali, but I didn't see the big part of spanking and all that. I didn't see that.
Man, I had to do that, man, because that's exactly what you gave her. You gave her a thorough spanking, man. You gave her a spanking. I sat there and I watched that, and I learned something from you. I learned that. That's why I brought it to my platform. And some of the people, I was talking to them about it, and I damn sure learned a lot from that interview, which you did, brother. You know, so I got to give you props on that right there. You know, I interviewed a pastor today. I went out to Pastor Manning Church, and we had a big argument yesterday that there were two creation stories in the Bible. And I told the Israelites it's only really one, because in the first scripture of Genesis 1, right? That's where God was talking about, let's create man and woman and get the image and likeness of us, right? But he was only describing what he was going to do. He actually played it out in Genesis 2. And that's when he did it. He played it out. And so when I asked the Reverend, he said, I am definitely right about that. He couldn't believe it. He was like, yo, you're right. And he's getting ready to take on Tazariak. And Tazariak, man, he better be careful. He's sleeping on Pastor Manning. Pastor Manning knows that Bible very well. Very well. So, all right, talk to me, brother. What's happening? Talk to us about. Yeah.
Well, shout out to the brother Pastor Manning. I'm not familiar with him. And who is he talking to? Pastor Manning is.
Well, he's getting ready to go up against Captain Tazariak.
Oh, peace. Peace and hotep to Captain Tazariak. Peace and love to you. Hopefully, one day you'll get permission to debate me. I've kind of stepped away from debates though, but he was looking for permission from his elder, and he didn't get that, and it's unfortunate. But one day, hopefully, you'll get permission to be allowed to debate Tehuti. And peace and love to you. Until then, I was on Killer Priest. It was a good show, and then I did my presentation on the origins of algebra.
I'm sorry for laughing. I'm sorry for laughing. I'm laughing at Yara. Yara said, I haven't seen a flyer this diabolical since Sakari days. Yeah.
The flyer is very. I haven't seen a flyer like that at all. Actually, Naphtali put out a flyer of me hugging Donald Trump after we talked.
Yeah.
That's
See,
could get back.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's what they do when they get their butt spanked. You know. And Yara, you damn sure don't want no smoke with Tehuti. So, go ahead, brother. I want everybody to thumb up the video.
Yara.
Thumb up the video, like the video. We got Tehuti in the building with us this evening. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe. Go ahead, brother Tehuti. You got the floor.
Yes, the brother Yara, I think his name was just on the screen.
Yeah.
The last time I spoke with him here. and he was showing that he was trying to show that Yahweh was Yahweh was in some meta. I feel sorry for, you know what, everybody starts on their level, and the way that I started off on my path was that my mother challenged me to debate my pastor, and if I won the
Oh,
debate, I'd be allowed to stay in the house, and if I lost the debate, it was my first organized debate. If I lost the debate with the pastor of her church, I'd have to be kicked out of the house. So my very first debate was with the pastor, and we went back and forth for 5 hours, and she kicked him out for embarrassment.
yeah.
That was when I was a child. So you know, everybody starts on their own levels, but shout out to the Hebrews. Hopefully they wake up. Um, shout out to everybody. You know, everybody wakes up on their own levels. Shout out to Naphtali. I hope she wakes up. I was trying to talk to her and get her, maybe turn her name to Nefertiti, but you know.
Yeah, no, they don't want that. They don't want
Yeah.
no light. They don't really want no light. See, the problem with Israelites, and I said this before, you could never believe, or you should never go to a believer if you want to know about the Bible. They will lie. They don't really know the Bible. They think they got to defend God. So you should never go to one of them who believes in the Bible. A believer would do anything to make you follow them and believe in them.
Exactly right.
You
And
know?
one thing they stay away from is dates and facts. Dates and facts are
Right.
the worst enemy. And every time I have a conversation with them about dates and facts, it leads down a path to their the wiping out of their matrix or their destruction. So you know, I've been debating Hebrew since 1992. I think one of the biggest names, I think his name is Nathaniel. I don't know, he has some big move, but I remember if that's the same Nathaniel brother, we started on Pal Talk debating. They named a whole Hebrew Israelite room after me. We're going to take out Amenhotep and his 6,000 gods, and we've been going at it. But the good thing is that I have a high rate of converting Hebrews out of it. That's what matters.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want me to play some clips, I could play a little bit and let you respond to it, or you could just go in and talk about your conversation you had with Naphtali.
Yeah, I'm actually in a little bit play some clips.
Or you got clips, or do you got clips?
I was planning on starting at 4.
Yeah, do you have clips?
I have one clip.
Okay.
I have one clip. Let me go look, and then I could play that, and then I could step away for a couple of minutes because I have to do something. It's gonna take about 5 minutes, but we can play a clip in the meanwhile.
Right.
Yeah. So until I find the clip, yes, I was on Kill the Priest, and I did my presentation on algebra starting in Kemet. And then Naphtali came on afterwards, and I didn't know what her intentions were. She just came off, so she had some questions, and then it turned into her trying to make me an evolutionist. I said, I'm not an evolutionist.
Right. You
I'm
killed
not
that.
anything with the word, with the word ist on it. And she tried to trap me in these boxes to debate me as if she's debating the brother, the atheist brother who still has a Kemetic name. But she tried to debate me like as if it's. I said, I'm not that. I represent my aunt.
You're talking about Unc, probably.
Yeah. So she tried to debate, and it ended up very ugly. It ended up really, really ugly because she just wouldn't answer. It was only 3 questions. The whole conversation was 3 questions.
Right.
Saw it.
Oh man, brutal.
And she tried to say we're different from animals. And you know, the interesting thing about that is that of course I always represent the animals. I got them on my hat, in my arms, or with me all the time. There's no such thing as a group of things called animals. That is a human invention. So when they say we're different from the animals, absolutely we are different from each other. So is an ape the same as a dog, the same as an octopus? An octopus is different from an ape, and an ape is different from a caterpillar. They are different. Every creature is different. So when we say we are different from animals, yes, an octopus is different from a praying mantis, and and a chimpanzee is different from a cat. The cats are going to say we're not them either. We're all in the animal kingdom. But yes, a cat is not a monkey, and a monkey is not a caterpillar, and a caterpillar is not a dung beetle. There's millions of species of life, and the word animal just comes from the word animation. Anything that breathes. And the way that Naphtali got really destroyed, unfortunately, was she said, well, that's in English. When I brought up the English, and I said, well, I read Hebrew. I said, let's go to the Hebrew. The word for animal, I said, what's the thing the Jews wear on their neck? It's called Hayim. What's the word for the animals? She said Hayim. I said, what's the word for mankind when you breathe the breath of life? Hayim. It's the same word. So it's a silly conversation to try to make people think that they're superior to other life forms on the planet. And if you definitely took a naked man and put him in a room with most of these animals, he wouldn't have any dominion. When people talk about having dominion over the animals, they're not talking about themselves. They're talking about some structure system. So themselves can't step in the room with any animal as a singular being. When they say we have dominion over the animals, step in the room with a chimpanzee and show dominion. Just you and the chimpanzee, not what the other men that you hate created, not a gun, not the knife that the white, not the guns that the Europeans created, not the bombs, not just you, as Adam. Remember Adam, naked man with a little fig tree on his private part. So just you representing God. Before God gave you weapons, gave you all this, just you as a man, step in the room with a black bear and just show the dominion. Just show a representation of you having dominion over the tiger, without the Europeans' creation of different weapons and all these different things that came thousands of years later after Adam. So we don't have any dominion over animals. We're not supposed to have the dominion over anything. We're supposed to strive the best to be the best beings that you can be, and so does everyone.
You know what I used to always say, Tehuti, when they come at me with that? I would say, okay, if you got dominion over animals and you think you got power, go in the cage with a lion. Let me see you do that. Let me see how much power and dominion you got. Go in there with a gorilla. Let me see how much power. Keep listening to them fairy tales if you want to. You keep listening to that nonsense if you want to, bro. Go up in there.
Do you know that a human can swim in the veins of a blue whale? There's whales so big that you can swim in its veins. So jump in the ocean and just talk to a blue whale about your dominion over it as you're swimming through. So no, there's no dominion. The dominion, every time we talk about dominion, we're talking about a European concept of control and violence. We have dominion over them because we can shoot them. We have dominion over them because we can do all these violent things to them with weaponry. But a child left alone can't even survive without its mother for a few days. A turtle born out the shell immediately knows how to swim and immediately knows how to dodge enemies and immediately knows where the ocean is. So no, there's no superiority of all that stuff. That's all Bible nonsense. And you see the language behind me, sa.neter?
Yeah.
So
how's the baton?
Yeah, and the language, the sa.neter language. So the very first language on this planet that communicated any form of religion or spirituality is 90% composed of animals, which means that there's no Hebrew at the time. There's no Arabic at the time. There's no Aramaic at the time. There's no Greek at the time. None of those existed. At the time, there was sa.neter. And on the other side, there was a Kiyingi language that people are miscalling cuneiform. These languages are composed of animal structures. And until you understand what the animals mean, you can't even communicate to each other. So the very first language that communicated and created a pathway for spirituality on this planet was composed of animals. So without the animals, you have no spirituality on this planet. So,
I think Yara Black Sage might want some smoke with you, being the way that you beat up his sister Hebrew. He probably want revenge. Look what he write in the chat. Look what he write in the chat.
Tehuti monument. You said Yahweh name is not found in ancient Kemet. I slapped you and you lost. And you clear-colored students showed it. I don't understand the language much, but I will say that I never asked that. People create, I guess what they call it, straw men in debating. They create parallel realities when they talk to me. They can't show me a quote of me saying something. They have to create what I say. So I in that conversation with that brother, which I have, I believe, a clip recorded, I discussed showing the oldest form, a name of Yahweh in the Hebrew language that people acknowledge in the culture. You see, if there's a God called Yahweh or Elo or Elohim or any of these names, he gave language to man first, according to the theme of religion, according to the theme of Christianity and Hebrew Israelitism. the first and only creature that could talk and communicate with sentences was man. And because of that, it was given by God. So God gave man the ability to speak, read, and write. So therefore, the very first writings of that God would be man speaking and reading and writing in the language that God gave him, because he would have no other language to write in. This is before modern day times. I'm talking about the ancient people. So there should be sentences of people talking about their belief in Yahweh that match the Hebrew culture. And that's actually what I asked. Where is Yahweh in ancient writings matching the Hebrew culture's Yahweh, of people saying that they worship Yahweh and they're practicing Hebrews? And that's what I asked. And the brother showed something on the screen which has nothing to do with the Yahweh of the Bible. It's just, you know, but if he comes up here, absolutely we'll talk, and the next flyer can have him on it, as long as you don't put him on my knee. Oh, you're on mute, sa.neter.
Yeah, Yara should be very careful what he asks for, you know, because he just swears he can beat up everybody. You know, he reminds me of JJ 7000 sometime. You know,
JJ went crazy on the Kill the Priest show. JJ went crazy on the Kill the Priest show against me. It was so strange. He went crazy saying, "I birthed you. I brought you to the public." I don't know what he was. I carried you along. I was like, I've been teaching since 1992. I'm not sure what his. I don't know. It's just people create parallel realities. But shout out to those who stay on the.
Let me drop this quick clip. This goes out to Revelation X. This goes out to Apostle. This goes out to everybody that was on my show yesterday. And so I went to the church and I asked them the question. Check it out. That there is only one, like yesterday we had
to the Israelites smacks of some sort of racism that somehow or another he himself feels inferior and wants to exalt himself by saying, well, white people like us, or we are like white people. I think that's an insult to black people, quite frankly. Mm-hmm.
I teach that there is only one, like yesterday we had a nice gathering with me, some of the Hebrew Israelite brothers, and we had this discussion on my channel, and I was teaching that there's only one creation in the Bible. They teach, Captain Tazariak and the rest of these Israelites, that there are two creations in the first book of Genesis, where God said, let us create man in our own image, and then in second book of Genesis, he talks about how he created Adam and Eve and put Adam. I said, well, in the second book of Genesis was only him describing how he's going to carry it out. The first one was how he's going to carry it out. The second book of Genesis is when he's showing you how he's carrying it out. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. I go by what you say.
I mean, I can give you an immediate answer to say you're not only right, but you're smack down right. Mm. Here is the logic that
this is deep. What are you going to say?
There can only be one creation.
That's right.
It cannot be two. They defy each other. It's like a juggernaut. They are at one another's. Creation is creation.
Correct.
It does not have a stepchild.
Thank you.
So to say that there's two is preposterous. It's ridiculous. You come on out if you like. You can. This is my photographer.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring her with me when she comes. So
That's what I'm saying.
Damn, man. She took us off that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Pastor, excuse me. Are we waiting for you?
But there can only be one creation. I don't know if Black Sage believe that there's two creations, because, you know, once one Hebrew said, Israelite, they all cling to it and they all run to it. Yeah, it's two creations, because they don't know the damn Bible like they think they know. Picture God having 2 and 3 creations. It's only one.
The reason why they have multiple creations is because it was taken from multiple creation stories. The Bible is not coming from any type of God. It's not coming from any type of Yahweh. It's coming from plagiarized multiple creation stories. So when they put them together, of course, they're going to have mismatched and multiple stories because they took it from multiple stories. That's why there's. Well, I'm not going to say it. I'll wait to see if a Hebrew wants to talk to me. But I do have. Let me pull up the clips.
Yes, let's do that. Let's get it in. Let's thumb up the video, family. Let's like the video. Thumb it up.
Okay, let me see here. Let me go to thumbnails, and I think this is
Revelation crazy. He said, I can't wait for the link.
I have it in my intro. Okay. It's pulling it up. So I thought you had the clips ready. I'm looking now. I thought.
No, I don't have a clip. I got the whole thing. I got
Absolutely.
Like, I thought you had the clips ready.
No, I got
almost two.
I got
Right?
like
Okay, and
both of
millions
us.
and billions and millions of views. So,
Okay.
but you, because it
Oh, here
sounds
we
like
go.
to me.
You got it?
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Still searching. That's so strange.
sa.neter is indoctrinated just like Hebrew Israelites. All right, Moses, you got that. You got that, Moses.
Okay. Okay. You want to just play it, throw it on any part until I find this clip, huh?
All right, go ahead. Yeah, I'll play something until you find it. Let me know.
With the Egyptians,
Yeah, thank you.
they say, and let me pull it up.
See, the way you got her, she started off thinking she was going to get you on the Egyptians, but it turned around and you ended up spanking her. You see what I'm saying? You ended up spanking her because she thinks she know it, but she don't even know nothing about the Egyptians. She thinks she do.
Because you say
what you was going to say?
Yeah, she did try to come in thinking. One of the things she said was that she thinks I believe that the ancient Egyptians were half animal, half person, and they actually had heads of animals.
Crazy.
She came in all wrong. Yeah, it was.
worship their
Okay, go ahead and
gods.
play that.
I had asked you something, Naphtali. Sorry, I asked you. I said both of us believe that human beings are linked to animals, don't we?
No,
No.
no, I do not. There's animal kind, and there's mankind.
Okay. Let me just confirm something because maybe I may be confused. Let me just check on something. I'm going to check on something because my what I know may be outdated. So let me just check and see if so humans are not linked to animals. Animals are, what do you say animals are? They're a separate thing from humans?
According to the Bible, yes.
Crazy.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do this. Just so we can be clear. AD, can you screen share? I just want to see something. Just so we can get the understanding from something outside of our belief. Not
You know, when you kept sharing your screen, they never showed what you were sharing. You just kept sharing the same thing.
from the Bible or or the writings of Ma'at, because none of these invented the
noticed
word
that. Yes,
animal.
I noticed that
So,
afterwards.
Yeah.
screen sharing. Let me see if me and Naphtali. She says animals are separate from humans.
You killed the
I say they're
on
the same, but animal, any sentient living creature, including humans. From Latin,
Say that
animali.
again. What was that?
I'm reading.
You said what now?
I'm reading the definition of the word animal. Any sentient living creature, including humans, from Latin, living being, which breathes. Non-use of neuter of animals, from the term animate, living, of air, animate, breathe, soul, a current of air, from ani, which is to breathe.
Okay.
Okay, and you were saying that animals are separate from humans, but the word,
Yes.
the definition
That's
of
according to the so-called scientific narrative. That's what they teach. But according to the Bible, there's animal kind and then there's humankind. I mean, mankind. So it's not the same. You know, when Christ created life, he created animals on a certain day and he created man at a different time period. And then he said, bring forth after your kind. So there's all a different kind. There's mankind and there's humankind. And we're not on the same level. That
Okay.
I've had this conversation. I was actually going to do a debate
Okay.
about this.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's it. That's the biblical narrative.
Okay.
I stand with the biblical narrative. I don't stand with the doctrine of evolution, which is pretty much a religion.
Okay, because
I don't take on the religion of evolution.
Okay, because you use the word animal,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave you
Animals are not humans.
I gave you the
Not
definition of animal.
Yes, that's according to the so-called science. When we're talking,
what I love about you, Tehuti, is that you don't let nobody off the hook. You stay right there on that point. You right there on that point. You don't let her get away. She's trying to get away from that right there, but you keep her ass right there, and I love it. I love it, bro. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
I said I ask a person a question until they either answer or just concede and say they don't know the answer. You know, kind of like what they did to Pam Bondi. But you know,
Yeah.
so, but she would not concede, and she said something very brutal at the end that I don't know if she remembers she said, but if she ever comes up to this, is she in the chat by any chance today?
She's watching in the bushes. She's in the bushes. Yeah.
Okay.
Meaning
Okay,
she
shout out to
watching,
you.
but she ain't gonna say nothing in the chat. She don't want nobody to know she's watching.
Okay. Yeah, but that's the snake style to ask a question until they answer. It's just a simple yes or no answer.
Right. And she didn't answer.
And after this, I got the clip. I'm going to play it right from the Killer Priest channel, and we're all good with the clearing and everything.
All right. Let me know when you're ready to play your clip.
Okay.
the Bible, according to the biblical narrative.
We're talking about the
animals
Bible?
and humans are not. Yes, the Bible. Yes, I take the biblical narrative. So according to the creation, Genesis 1. I mean, if you put it down, but humans and animals are not of the same genre. No, we're not the same. No, I don't. That's really interesting to me that people want to be the same as an animal. I don't know why.
That's what the word an animal is, a living sentient being.
Who told you that? Anybody can say that. That's not the same. You cannot procreate with an animal.
The ones who told me are the ones who created the word, young lady. I believe they created the word animal that you're using, and you're trying to use it and give it another definition other than the word in the dictionary. I'm confused.
Well, the thing is that according to the biblical narrative, humans were created separately from the animals. There's mankind. So you say humans, but there's actually something called mankind in the Bible. And mankind is not the same as an animal. The animals were made to serve the human beings, or mankind. They're here to serve us. They're not on the same level as us. We are the authority of the animal.
maybe mankind.
we did,
Maybe
we did
mankind.
not,
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. I was just saying we did not come from them. That is not the story of the biblical narrative. We were not created from them, and they were not created from us. We are completely separate.
Maybe mankind is different from the word that you really want to use, which is not animal. I just showed you the word animal. Maybe you want to use another word like hayim. Do you want to use another word? Because you can't use animal that's in the dictionary.
I'm not trying to get too technical because that's
Oh,
not
it's
even
technical.
my argument. I just wanted to know, do you believe that, do you believe in the actual narrative of the Egyptians? And right now it sounded like to me that you don't take on their narrative at all. It sounds like to me that you take on more of this so-called scientific narrative.
Okay.
And you take bits and pieces from them, but you really don't believe in what they actually are teaching. You take aspects of it, but you believe all of it's primarily allegorical. How about that? And that's not even my argument. I just wanted to get an understanding because I was actually going to be talking with you about the gods and about how the Bible actually, your narrative is pretty much teaching on that the Egyptians worship these deities and they had this knowledge. And I was actually going to bring out how the Bible actually explains that in the book of Enoch, that these angels came down and they provided knowledge to man. So that doesn't disagree with what the biblical narrative is. It actually proves the Bible. The book of Enoch speaks on how they gave them knowledge, gave them, and exactly to give you the actual information that they tell you. I got to learn how to work this. So I'm gonna put that. 1 second.
I found the section on the killing priest.
My stuff. There it is.
Naphtali?
I'm here.
Hey, can you hear me good?
Yeah, hear you just fine.
Okay, so I want to go back to the biblical understanding. So you do concede that we are animals according to the definition of the word that you brought into the conversation. You do concede that we are animals according to...
No, we're not animals, no.
Can you show me a definition of the word animal on the screen to disprove that, please? I'll wait for a minute.
I take the biblical narrative, so I don't agree with that. That is a theory.
Can you show me...
That there is no proof to... That is actually that is a theory that is theorized in evolution that humans are animals. However, according to the Bible, we are mankind, and mankind were created separately from the animals.
Okay.
So I don't know why that's hard to understand.
That's just hard to understand because you're using a word and then trying to tell me that it has some other meaning than what the dictionary says. Do you have a Hebrew definition of animal where you could pull up the Hebrew word for animal where it says nothing to do with man? Is there some type of other word? What's the word you're trying to use? Because it's not animal.
It's interesting when you're ready to utilize what something says and then you want to you pick and choose when you want to hold something firm that the so-called scholars say, right? Like you don't like the fact that they age Egypt as 3,100 years. You disagree with that. Just because they state something doesn't necessarily mean it's, and according to you, I was listening to your teaching, you made sure to say, hey, even though they tell you this, doesn't mean that that's true. Anybody can come up with any type of, definition or, anybody can come up with any type of, like you said, with the 3,100 years, you don't agree with it. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, different topic. What's the Hebrew word for animal again? I didn't catch that part.
The Hebrew word for animal?
Yeah, what's that again? So I could see that it has nothing to do with a person. Since you don't like the word animal, because the word animal is a word that has a definition. So
you're on mute, so if you pause.
You killed her on this right here. When she's looking up the Hebrew word for animal, God damn, she daggered herself. And what makes it crazy is that even when she see it, she's still in denial on the Hebrew, bro. And that's what makes it sad. And her husband is right there sitting next to her. And instead of him saying, baby, you know what? He's right. Let's move on. He's right. Just concede to that. He's there telling her, no, don't do it. That's not real. This nigga's crazy. And while he's hiding, he put his woman out there so she could look like a damn fool. And he don't come out. He's scared to come out.
And
Crazy.
you know what's interesting about this conversation is that most people don't know this, but I was actually born with a Hebrew name. So I had a Hebrew name, and my mother had the high symbol she used to wear on her neck, and it was a symbol for life, and it was the same word for animal. And she wore it, and I wore it as a child, and I actually had a Hebrew name. So that's why probably before Naphtali was even born or reading Hebrew, that's why she has to look up the Hebrew, which is embarrassing because if she's a Hebrew Israelite arguing about what animals are, she shouldn't have to go look up the word for it. She should be well equipped. It's one of the first words in the Bible, but she wasn't prepared to know it. And I challenge actually anybody that nobody can actually read Hebrew because there's no such language. But we'll continue. I found the clip too. You can play a little bit
All
more.
right. Let me know when you're ready to play it.
Okay.
Put it up. Put it up.
Okay.
John Doe. Be a nice little boy. Don't tell me what to say. I'm a grown ass man.
What is that? Who's that?
I'm a grown ass man, boy. So be a nice little boy so I don't have to tell you anything. Be respectful. I don't need to be to someone who was disrespectful to me and mine. So shut your ass up and just sit your ass back and learn.
That must be the chat.
Yeah, that's the chat. That's the chat.
Okay, I can't. Okay. Peace and shout out to those in the chat. And yes, please keep it respectful. And if you're, this is about consciousness, knowledge. It has nothing to do with anybody's personal.
Right.
No need to behave as immature children. Come with the facts. And if anybody has an issue, come to the screen because it's easy to type. You ever heard that saying? You catch a keyboard warrior without his keyboard. So it's easy to type. But anybody has any issues, definitely come to the screen and bring it up. But don't type disrespectful things in this platform. This is on this platform. So be respectful to all. Okay, so here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, let me go ahead and do this. Boom, boom, and here we go.
All right, it's coming up. I see it.
I think. Okay.
It's not letting me pop it up. I see it right there, but for some reason, it's not coming on. It says add to stage. Oh, okay. Let me move this. That's why.
Yeah, you had one up.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Okay, and then let me there we go. Let's do this, please.
Life in Hebrew.
Yeah, you know how you hear with Jews.
Yeah, stop it, man. It's
I see
stopping.
Jews, they were.
Yeah, it ain't playing. Yours ain't playing.
Is that plural? The I am, the yod am in Hebrew makes things plural. Is that correct?
Well, Hayim means life. Yes.
Hi would be Hayim singular.
It says Hayim.
And what's this?
Life, livelihood.
What's the other word? Hi.
Yes.
So hi, and the other word is Hayim with a yim at the end, and yim in Hebrew makes things plural. Is that correct? All right.
Well, the thing is, an animal is a living creature. So yes, I would have to agree with you on that. It's a living creature. It's alive. Doesn't mean that it came from a the same thing as a living creature is an insect. An insect, a fly, anything is a living creature. Anything that's alive is livelihood. So they're talking about stuff that's alive.
So there's there's no word in English. The word in English for animal also includes humans. And we went to the Hebrew, and the word for animal is living beings, which also includes humans.
The difference between what you're saying is an animal a human being? An animal is not a human being. That's
I said, are we animals? We are animals.
No. We are living creatures. By definition, we all live. We all are livelihood. We all live upon this earth. We all are alive. But guess what? We are not of the same No, we're not. To make sure you understand. Do you need me to break it down a little bit for you?
You can break it down as long as you use the word. As long as you use the word.
We have a living creature that's alive that needs to be up on the earth. So when we go to the Genesis narrative, let me bring up the Genesis narrative.
Yes.
Allow me to do that for you. Let me get that for you.
Is this also because we can't have babies?
I'm going to tell you what the Genesis narrative says.
Okay. And when you use the Genesis narrative, please tell me the word for animal, because we just discussed the word for animal.
I did say the word for animal.
Is the same word for people, living beings.
They're beasts. They're living creatures. The Genesis narrative tells you very clearly. So
I'm just saying what the word means. What is the word for animal that doesn't apply to a human? Hayam applies to people too. Man became a living thing. That's a hayam. That's plural. The same word.
The Bible makes sure you understand what it is. Let me tell you. Let me read it to you.
Okay.
So it says right here. 1 second. All right. So he says here in Genesis 1, right here on the 24th, it says, and God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and the creeping thing and the beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so. So it actually says living creature. So it says, and God made the beast of the earth after his kind. So he made sure he let you know that he made the beast after their kind, so meaning their species, and cattle after their kind, and every living thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. Now it says, and God said, let us make man in our images. So right there, he says man. So at first he said he made the beast, he made the cattle, he let you know that he let you know the tail. It's very thorough. No need to speculate, no need to add, no need to take away. It's very clear. He let you know that they were called cattle. He let you know that they were called beasts. And he also said after their kind, which science today would call or classify as a species or a classification of that particular animal. So we know that there is dogs, but there's different types of dogs, right? But everything else is a dog. So you have a pit bull, you have a let's see, what's another dog? You have a poodle, you have different types of dogs, right? There's many different types of dogs. Guess what? If I say it's a dog, you'll know what I'm talking about. Does that mean I have to specify that it's a poodle for you? Let them have dominion. So that means that we are going to have dominion, meaning that we're going to rule over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So he says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. This is something that is very observable. I believe in observable, or what we call operational science. What is operational or observable science? Means that it can be tested, recreated, and reproduced within a laboratory, which follows the scientific method. What you're talking about is religion. You cannot observe, nor can you reproduce, nor can you replicate anything of a fish turning into a bird or a lizard or anything like that. That has never been seen and never been observed. But right here, what the Bible says has been observed and is scientific, because what? We see every bird bring forth after its kind, and we see every creeping thing, or what we would consider cattle, brings forth after their kind. So right here, the Most High made sure that he made mankind within his image, man and female, and we receive dominion. So we are not low down, we're not lesser beings, we're not outside, we're not these
talk to him.
We're not outside, we're not chewing and eating some grass. We're not eating grass. We're not outside. We're not no primitive beings. We were created in the image of the Most High, honey. I am not an animal. I am a divine being of the Most High. I am not an animal. Okay?
You know what we're gonna do, Naphtali? Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, so we're going to speak, and we're going to speak in an organized fashion, so that one point at a time can be addressed. You said a lot. You have a lot to say, but I'm pinpointing. I'm pinpointing something. So we're gonna talk, and we're not gonna. I think I've heard you use the word filibuster. It's one of your favorite. Where somebody just talks, gish gallop. But let's just take one topic at a time and just deal with one thing at a time. And we may even have to put a 1 minute or 2 minute timer so that we don't cut into each other. And I'll respect it. But I want to know this. In the Hebrew Israelite culture, you have a wonderful husband?
I do.
Is he close to you right now? Is he in the room close to you, or somewhere else? What's that?
Why does that matter?
Oh, I just wanted to say peace and respect to him, because I've actually seen you before, and at times he's right beside you. And if so, as a man talking to his woman, I say peace and respect, because I respect family. I respect family and structure family. So if he was there listening, I just want to say peace to you and greetings to you, because I'm going to ask you a question directly pertaining to you and him. It's very respectful. It's not personal. It's very respectful. And that is, are you considered a helpmeet to him? In Hebrew culture, are you a helpmeet?
There we go.
A helpmeet. I just want to say this.
And you can tell me to pause anytime you want. So
a lot of the stuff that Hebrew Israelites teach is not real. It's not correct. I do apologize. I'm kind of tired and I need some water.
Well, me too. I need some water too.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, you should have let me play mines, man. Yo, you should have let me play.
You can play yours. That's fine.
Mine is much clearer, and it don't.
Since we're not going to use that word, since the Hebrew.
But right here, what the Bible says has been
I'll be right back while you're playing.
I've actually seen you before, and at times
All right,
right beside you, and if so, as a man talking to his woman, I say peace and respect, because I respect family. I respect family and structure family. So if he was there listening, I just want to say peace to you and greetings to you, because I'm going to ask you a question directly pertaining to you and him. It's very respectful. It's not personal. It's very respectful. And that is, are you considered a helpmeet to him? In the Hebrew culture, are you a helpmeet?
A helpmeet. I just want to say this to you. A lot of the stuff that these Hebrew Israelites teach is not real. It's not correct. I do apologize. I'm kind of tired and I need some water.
Me too. I need some water too.
Gosh.
Yeah.
1 second. Of course, I'm a helpmeet to my husband. I'm here to help.
That's right. You're help. Get that water. Get that water.
And he just helped me. You see that?
So you're a helpmate to him. Do you have any pets? Grab me a water. Actually, grab one from the back for me. The big one.
Do I have any pets?
Yes.
Yes, I do. I have a cat.
Is your cat male or female?
She is a female.
Could that cat be a helpmeet to your husband? How'd you feel about that?
The animals are of service to us. Yes, they are.
The animal, your cat, could be a helpmeet to your husband?
Yes, they are. They are here to serve us. That's their job.
A particular.
She gets rid of the mice. She keeps mice. I don't have mice in my home.
So she's a helpmeet.
Oh yeah, she does a great job.
Help me to everybody.
I had a mouse one time. I woke me up. It was
okay.
on my dresser, and then guess what? I don't no more now that I've
beautiful. In the Hebrew Israelite culture, could you refer me to a link, a website, a book, a page number, or any reference with the teachings where Hebrew Israelites call their pets helpmeets? I know they call their husband and wife that, but is there any reference in a teaching website where a pet is a Hebrew Israelite's helpmeet? Do you have a reference to that?
Revelation?
I don't really want to hear your opinion right now. I just want to know, do you have a physical, factual reference to the Hebrew Israelite culture considering their dog a helpmeet? Yes or no?
Well, I don't know. God, I think my phone didn't died. I was trying to Google it for you. I don't know how to work this. 1 second. I'm trying to Google that for you because I don't know off the top of my head.
Have you heard Hebrew Israelites in your belief system call each other's husband and wife helpmeets?
No, I don't. Like I said, you can stop calling it a religion. I don't affiliate myself with none of those people. What they teach is a lot of they don't teach truly.
I'm not asking what they
call
no.
help meet. I don't know.
No, have you ever heard this term help meet used before in culture?
In the Bible? Is it in the Bible?
Have you heard it in culture, in any particular culture?
Let me see when it's referenced in the Bible for you. Let me take.
Yeah, let me see. Let's see if it's referenced in the Bible.
So I'm looking in the blue letter right now.
Yeah.
All right. So help meet.
Yeah, because it's an interesting word, right? Help meet. Meet is like you're meeting someone, or help meet. Not meat as in like medium rare, right?
Oh. I do not eat anything medium. Are you saying Genesis 2:18?
No, no. I'm asking you a question. In the Hebrew Israelite culture, the term help.
Culture is you're making. That's why
I'm asking a question. The Hebrew Israelite is not one person, right?
No,
it's a group of people.
What those people do.
Any but your friends. Do you have any friends that are Hebrew Israelites? Just you and your husband. That's
based off of the scripture. So the Bible says here in Genesis 2:18.
No, Naphtali, please. If you just stick to what I'm asking, you and your husband are not the only two people of your belief system. You do have friends that are also into the Torah and also Hebrews, or just you and your husband, and that's it on the earth? Is there anybody else that's a culture, or just you and your husband?
I have a couple.
Okay. Any of your friends, or if it's a temple you go to, a meeting or gathering, or anybody that reads the Bible with you, in the culture, is the term helpmeet used for a husband and wife?
It's utilized in Genesis 2:18.
Is it used for husband?
He says it right there. I will make him a helpmeet.
Okay, good. Oh, wonderful. I will make him a helpmeet, and it refers to what? What is God going to make him?
It refers to yes, I got that. What's the point? I got that.
Okay,
yes.
I'm just asking you, what does it refer to? It refers to a wife. Is that right?
Yes, a helpmeet. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So a helpmeet is a wife. It is not your pet. I just want to establish that my snake
Got
cannot
him.
be my helpmeet. God's definition of a helpmeet is a wife, and we just heard Naphtali say that.
Got
Can I share
him.
my screen, please, AD?
I don't know what that was supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be anything except for when I share my screen.
That's right. Got
Share
him.
my screen, please, AD. Thank you so much. So helpmeet is a wife, one that we're supposed to mate with, and have children with, and have a family with. Okay. Okay, here we are. Here we are. We're in Genesis 2, and this is what Naphtali.
Tehuti.
Yes, I'm here. I'm just not on the screen.
See, AD should have told you you're not showing your screen. He should have told you that. Because you're showing the same thing, the animal. But he ain't tell you.
Right. Excuse me. And on my screen, on my computer, it looked like I was showing the Bible verse, but it didn't come up on Killer
Right.
screen. It's very strange.
Right.
But it's Genesis 2.
Quoted?
Genesis 2:18.
The Lord God said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him." I'll make a helpmeet for him. Okay? And what's the next thing that happens?
He created animals.
Out of the ground, the Lord started forming something. So he says right here, he's going to make something for Adam. His very next motion is he starts to make things. Out of the ground, the Lord God formed every beast of the field, every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam so called them, every living creature, that was the name of thereof. So here's the very next thing he creates after he mentions that he's going to create a helpmeet for him. He starts creating these animals. Adam gave them names to the fowl of the earth and the air and every living beast. For Adam, there was not found a helpmeet for him. Let's do it step by step. Adam is alone. There's nothing else there. Just Adam. God makes a declaration. I'm going to make a helpmeet for you. Naphtali and I agree. Helpmeet is going to be your wife. So next, God goes into action to start making things. He said, I'm going to make a helpmeet for you. Then he starts acting upon it. His next action, he starts making things and forming things. Adam is looking through them. He's naming them. He's giving them names. And it looks like somebody's looking for something. But you can only look for something amongst what's there. The sentence doesn't say, and God did not create a helpmeet for him. It said God created some things, some animals. And then after he created the animals and Adam went through them, it says, there was no helpmeet found for Adam.
Bring it out.
My question is, Naphtali, where was Adam and God looking for a helpmate for them to come to the conclusion that they couldn't find one? Just give me a Bible reference, please.
Now, this is when they get dumb, stupid, and ignorant, like Apostle, like my brother Revelation X. When you ask a profound question, like my brother Zion Warchild, like my brother Yara, this is when the Hebrew, all common sense is out of their goddamn mind. Now they dumb. And you coming right out of their book. Let's look at Naphtali. Look at her reaction already. Look at how she's posed.
So you said there was no helpmeet found?
No, I didn't say that. The Bible said it.
Okay, so why are you insinuating it? Because we're going based off of what the Bible says. Now, what you're actually going into is the Babylonian Talmud. And you're trying to insinuate that Adam had relations or bestiality with animals.
I asked you a specific question.
I don't know. Do you have bestiality with your snake?
Pam Bondi.
A woman is not the same on the same level.
I asked you a specific question, ma'am.
You're lowering the value of a woman.
Is that the answer?
This is what an Israelite do. See, when they can't answer a simple question, they begin to charge you with something wrong that you're doing. Look at her. Look at her.
To an animal, because I mean, if you believe that, like I said, the Babylonian Talmud
is that the answer?
Says that the Bible doesn't specify that.
Is that the answer to my question?
The answer to your question is that no, there was no helpmeet found because he was.
I didn't ask that. I asked, where was God and Adam looking for one?
Where did it says that he was looking for one?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I said they hadn't found. They hadn't. You asked me a question. He said they haven't.
All she had to do is say amongst the animals. You read the goddamn verse. They were looking amongst the animals, and there was no helpmate found. God damn. Damn, man.
Found one. You can only find. You can. Oh, ma'am. Excuse. We have to put a timer on 80. It's going to be 2 minutes because I'm not going to go through the chaos.
Where did they say they haven't found
we're going to get 2 minutes to speak each.
Priest is coming in too. Also,
yeah, we're going to get 2 minutes to speak to keep it.
Found one that they said they haven't found one. They were looking for one. Where is that? What scripture is that?
Look at that. She don't even know that. Look at that.
20. Put it back on the screen, please. Put it back on the screen. We're not moving from this. Put it back on the screen right now. Eric, thank you.
Hold on.
But Adam, there was not found.
Here come Killer Priest. Killer Priest is trying to save her. Shout out to Killer Priest. But he's trying to save her right now. Because Killer Priest know Tehuti got her looking crazy. He know he got her looking crazy.
Was not found a helpmeet for him. In order to find something, you have to be looking for something.
Right.
My question specifically was to Naphtali, where were God and Adam looking for a helpmeet that they couldn't find one? I want a specific answer of where they were looking, and I want you to answer from the Bible. Don't make anything up. Don't go to Babylonian. Don't go to China. I want you to stay into the Bible. Do you have an answer for this question or not?
Yes, I do. Okay.
Where were they looking?
The Bible says that Adam was watching Christ create the offspring, right? And he
No,
was creating
no.
them in pairs. So each animal had a mate. So every animal had a mate, but guess what? Adam didn't have one. So that's why they weren't able to find one. So that's why the Most High said,
Where were they looking
let's
though?
create Adam a helpmeet. Let's create him a mate.
Ooh, you said
So
it backwards.
All right, hold on. Do y'all hear me?
Oh yeah, KP, yes.
So that's why he
Yeah,
created
yeah.
Adam
Yes.
and helpmeet. That's
We're
why
here.
he said, man
But
should
you
not
said it.
look
You said it backwards. You
Okay,
said
we got to do it one at a time. Hold on.
yes.
When
Thank
one
you.
person speaks, when one person speaks,
We need a
the other
timer.
person be quiet. Then the other person speaks. No cutting each other off, and then we got a nice decorum going on.
And we need a timer because I want the specific question. If Tally said it backwards, she said that all the animals had mates. They couldn't find one for Adam. So then God said, well, let's make a helpmeet. No, it actually went the other way around. He said, let's make a helpmeet before. Then he made the animals. When God said it, there was no animals that had helpmeets, young lady. He said it first. Then after that, then he created the animals. So you said it in reverse. You said, and Adam and God saw that the animals had helpmeets. They couldn't find one for Adam, so God created a wife for him. No, young lady. Actually, God said it first, and then he created the animals. Then they couldn't find. And I'm asking a specific question. Where were they looking? Amongst what were they looking that they can't find a helpmeet? Where were they looking for one? Is my specific question to you. Can you answer that or not?
Yes, I can. Is it my turn to speak? I don't want to overtalk you. Are you finished?
Yes.
Yes.
It's my turn. Thank you so much. So much. I appreciate it. And let me expound further upon that. All right. So the thing is how we can conclude from the narrative that's been written so eloquently well is that what happened is with all this creation is that God did not find a mate for any of those, nor did Adam. So that means that
he just kicked me off.
I told you. Stop acting like you're a teacher. And you can't even answer the question. A simple question. Where were they looking for a helpmeet for Adam? And you read it. He read it in there. Like you can't say it because you think you're trying to defend God from making a mistake like that. This is crazy. That's why I said you can't listen to no believer in the Bible. You must not listen to none of them.
Yeah, what you doing?
Because you're just a gray box. We don't have a video.
No, it don't matter.
Okay.
No, you're still on, priest. We can hear you.
So the thing is that if Adam needed a mate, there were animals all around. If God wanted to give him an animal, he could have. But instead of giving him an animal, and guess what? Adam could have chosen an animal. But instead, he didn't take in either animal, fowl, beast, or bird.
He ain't asked you none of that.
Well, he didn't take any of those. So what God did was he created him a woman, a helpmeet for him specifically. And we see that written very well. It says right here, so God created man in his own image, in the image of God created him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth.
None of that.
So
he know all of that.
That's what he designed for him and his helpmeet, was to be fruitful and to replenish and multiply. A man and a woman cannot be fruitful nor replenish and multiply with any form of animal, any form of beast, any form of cattle, bird, snake. You can't not reproduce, meaning you will become sterile, meaning you will not reproduce life. And that's according to scripture.
Is the time ready?
She technically has 20 more seconds.
Got 20 more seconds, Naphtali.
Yes. So he says here, and he says, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the earth, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So not only did he differentiate them, he also gave them dominion, making sure that you understand that we are above the beasts. We're not them. We are their rulers. They service us. When you see service animals, they are there to service us. When you said a dog,
This is why you deserve to get over the knee and a goddamn spanking, Naphtali. You deserve to get a spanking because you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Tehuti practically spanked you like a baby. Spanked you. And you trying everything to get out of it. But you supposed to be a woman of God and you sitting up there lying on everything in the Bible. You're not teaching, you're lying.
a dog can never do what I can do for my husband. I don't know what your snake does for you, but my thing is what I do for my husband, a snake, a dog, a cat, and the thing is that Adam did not choose of any beast. No,
and time.
Time. Wonderful. She's still going. There may be a lag.
Okay, all set.
Wonderful. So for the record, Naphtali said they couldn't find a helpmeet for Adam amongst the animals. She said that. Is that right, AD? Naphtali, who's the they that were looking for a wife for Adam amongst the animals? Who's the they?
Come on. Come on.
The they is the Most High in Christ.
The Most High that created the animals in Christ were taking their time to look for a wife for Adam amongst the animals, and they couldn't find one?
They didn't find one because they felt as though that he didn't need to be with no animals, so they made sure they created one.
Why were they looking amongst the animals?
They were just observing.
What'd you say, sir?
Why were they looking amongst the animals for a wife for Adam?
They weren't looking, they were observing. They were saying, there's no wife here. Let's make sure we make a wife.
Again, I'm going to repeat.
They were like this.
Is it my time yet? Or wait, what, is he answering the question or no? I'm just asking a simple question.
You just asked me a question. I'm trying to repeat. You want me to respond?
The question is simple. You said they were looking. That means you're on a quest for something. That means there's something you don't know and you want to find the answer to.
No,
You're looking for something.
That's not true.
And it says they couldn't find one. Did it say that, AD, or do I have to put it back up? Is that Tehuti saying that? They were looking. Naphtali said they were looking. So she agrees that a group of people or a group of beings were on a quest trying to find something. The Bible says they couldn't find one. Why were they looking for a mate? Why was the all-knowing God who created the animals looking for a mate amongst animals to get to the conclusion, well, nope, we've looked and we can't find one? Is that a failed mission? Why was God and Jesus looking for a helpmeet or a wife for Adam amongst the animals? And why did they fail that mission? I yield my time, and I want a specific answer.
It's my turn to speak.
It's your turn to answer this specific question. Why was the Most High and Jesus even on a mission to look for a wife for a human being amongst animals? That's my question.
It doesn't say that. You're adding to the text.
Oh,
quoting you.
After creating the animals, he looked and said, okay, now it's time for you to have a creation. Have a helpmeet. That's all it says. It doesn't say that. And you know how we know that it doesn't say that? Because we actually have the outcome of what happened. That's how we know. It actually is written and has been recorded. So there is no need to speculate. It's in black and white. It tells us what happened. It says after he looked upon the beast and saw that they had,
that they couldn't find one?
They didn't need to find one. It's just the fact
says it in the Bible. That's the words it used. It says they couldn't find one.
That's not what it's saying.
Oh my God. Ignorance is at an all-time high right now. All of a sudden, we don't know the Bible no more. Y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? This is crazy, man.
For us to make you one now. We made them pairs. Now it's time for you to be made with your pair. There's nothing wrong with that. Adam was there during the creation process. He was the one that was naming the animals. He gave the animals the names. He was there helping Christ create. So after they were done doing all the creating, it was time for Adam to now finally have his wife.
I never asked
There's
any
no
of
other
that.
women made. There were no other women made. So guess what? It was time, because you know why? Because it was a process. And he needed to get the animals out the way, and Adam named the animals. He actually was there with them, actually, helping with the creation. And then once, not helping, but observing the creation. And once the Most High and Christ were done with the creation.
So what was they looking for, Naphtali, before he created the Eve? Well, they was looking for
The
something.
woman.
Yeah, they was looking for something before he created the woman. They was looking and they couldn't find it. So it was a failed mission right there. And so he had to go and say, you know what? Let me create something from amongst your own kind. That's the second thought that he thought of. Come on, Naphtali, man. You can't be that damn slow. But then again, I see your husband hiding. So, yeah.
Of the beast and all the animals. Then he looked over to Adam and he looked and he said, all right, now it's your turn. And that's what we see that's recorded and added into the Bible. There's no need to speculate. There's no need to add to the text, because the text says what it says. I know you don't want to accept what it says, but it says what it says. Just like you said, he observed, he looked. Yes, he did. And once he observed and looked, he created a woman. He did not create another animal.
I never said that.
I yield my time.
Yes. So again, and I will ask this 1,822 times, or you may just have to leave the show, because that's how I do. And if the crowd thinks that she answered, just quote her. And here's the question again. And I will ask this. And this is the way that I talk to people until I get honesty. I quoted Naphtali. She said, they were looking. Crowd, did you hear her say that? AD. She said they were looking. I'm quoting her. Am I going crazy? Is there a parallel dimension? Or am I quoting Naphtali? Let me see, because maybe I may have dementia. Did Naphtali say they were looking? And my question was, who's the they? AD, did that happen or no?
I mean, I heard that.
Okay, you heard that. That's all we need. Crowd, did you hear Naphtali say they were looking? So being that she established that they were looking, my question was, why were they looking? Now she said, they weren't looking. They were just observing. No. I'm quoting you, young lady. You're inside of here. You can't go anywhere unless you retract the words that you said. You said specifically they were looking, and the crowd heard you. AD heard you. Killer Priest heard you. I heard you. And now you're inside of here. And you can't move from there until you answer the question, why were they looking for a helpmate amongst animals for Adam? You already said they were looking. Crowd, did you hear that? Or is Tehuti nutbag? So since we've established that you said they were looking, my only question to you is, why were they looking? Can you answer that, please? Why were they looking? Tell me, talk to us.
Okay, so he was looking a whole lot. Let me give you a scripture here.
Oh, my God.
So right here it says,
She changes the term looking. Watch her. She changes it from looking to observing, looking for them to observing.
Damn, they could never be honest, bro. And that's the same way I get Apostle. Where Apostle can't answer the question. He start going to another scripture. They crazy, man. These Israelites is crazy.
This gets really bad right here. It's too bad for her.
Damn.
She's looking.
all right. So it's in Genesis 1:29, it says, behold, I have given you herb-bearing seed, which is
She went
upon
all
the
the way
face
to
of all
Genesis
the earth. So he's telling you,
1:29.
behold, meaning look at this. He said, I gave you
He said,
I gave you every herb bearing seed. So when he's saying, behold, he's telling them to look at this, look at that, look at what I'm
All
doing.
around the
And
question
what he's doing
again.
is he's telling Adam to look. Christ doesn't need to look. He's just letting Adam look. No, like, hey, he's teaching. This is a teaching moment. He says, let's find, this is education.
Hey, yo, I want you to see how wicked these Israelites is. Look, because sa.neter is calling out the truth of the Bible. Yahweh says, sa.neter, you diabolical. No, brother. What you should have said was she is being diabolical because she's lying on your Bible, brother. She's lying. I'm telling the truth. Tehuti telling the truth. See how y'all flip it and you make it look like we the ones that don't know the Bible, we wrong, and y'all know everything. Come on, y'all, right? You better than this, brother. Your ass is next. I'm gonna get you next. We gonna get it in. Me and you gonna get it in.
Okay, so he says, behold, I have given you this. Behold, I have given you that. And then he says, now let's give you a wife. Does that necessarily mean that he was looking for him a wife? There was no woman made. So he was letting them know, like, hey, you don't have a helpmeet. Does Adam know what that is? Not yet. So Christ had to let him see, hey, there's no woman here for you. This is a teaching moment for Adam. So once he told Adam, look out there, do you see anything for you? Adam said, no, I don't see nothing for me. So he said, well, let me go ahead and create you something.
Got that right.
And when he did, he created him something.
You see what she just said? So he asked Adam, do you see anything out there for you? What's the thing? The animals, Naphtali. The animals. You don't even get with it. See, you don't even want to say it, but you saying it. You get it, Tehuti? You see what she just said? So he asked Adam, do you see anything out there for you? And Adam is like, no, I don't see nothing. So you're talking about animals, Naphtali. Even though you don't want to say it, you ended up saying it in a whole different light. Let me replay that. Let me replay that. And I hope y'all caught that. I hope y'all caught that. Let's go.
So what he's doing is he's telling Adam to look. Christ doesn't need to look. He's just letting Adam look. No, like, hey, he's teaching. This is a teaching moment. He says, let's find, this is education.
Christ isn't looking.
Okay, so he says, behold, I have given you this. Behold, I have given you that. And then he says, now let's give you a wife. Does that necessarily mean that he was looking for him a wife? There was no woman made. So he was letting them know, like, hey, you don't have a helpmeet. Does Adam know what that is? Not yet. So Christ had to let him see, hey, there's no woman here for you. This is a teaching moment for Adam. So once he told Adam, look out there, do you see anything for you? Adam said, no, I don't see nothing for me.
What he asking him, do he see? He's asking him about the animals. Do you see anything out there?
So he said, well, let me go ahead and create you something.
Let me go ahead.
He did, he created him.
That's what he said.
He created him a woman. So there you go.
Okay, let me go ahead. So, again, you're stuck in your words. I quote you again.
In the Bible.
You said, I asked you, who was looking? You said, God and Christ were looking. That's what you said. God and Christ were looking. Looking for what? Looking for a wife for Adam. A helpmeet. I asked you, what is a helpmeet? You said, that's a wife. That's the first thing you said. I asked you, why were they looking for a helpmeet, a wife for Adam amongst the animals? Now you're saying it was a teaching moment for Adam. They weren't even looking. It was actually Adam that was the one looking around. So you know what? Go ahead and do this. I don't see none of those words in the Bible. I want you to quote the Bible, ma'am. No Naphtali verse 8. No Naphtali words. I'm asking you to use God's words to answer my question. You said they were looking. Now you try to conflate the word looking for observing. Listen closely.
Looking is observing.
No. Stop.
Look at the definition of the word looking and look at the word observing.
Excuse me. You can observe something that's in front of you. It's a different action from another type of looking. There's a looking where something's just in front of you and I'm looking at it. Then there's a looking that you're trying to find something. That means you're not observing it. You see what's happening? There is an observing, looking. I'm looking at the bottle. If I said, I'm looking for my bottle, now I don't see it. It's actually an opposite definition, young lady. One word looking is observing something. You do see it. I'm looking at it. One word is, I'm looking for my bottle because you don't see it. And then you look and look and look, and then you say, I can't find it. If you can't find what you're looking for, Naphtali, you are not observing it. You're on a mission, a quest, looking for your car keys. As you're looking for your car keys, you are not observing them. You're trying to observe them. Total definition difference from looking at something in front of you. And you know how we know? Because the Bible told us. The good word of God, Yahweh, told us the end conclusion. The end conclusion was, and I will read it again, not Tehuti's words, Yahweh's words. The end conclusion was, and there was not found a helpmate for him.
Damn.
That kind of looking.
Damn.
The kind of looking where you're trying to find something. And at the end conclusion, you say, I haven't found it. That means you never observed it. Because
Right.
if you're looking at it, you're not looking for it. This one is saying, we haven't found it. That means something is lost. It can't be seen. You're on a mission. I'm asking you, why were they, which is God and Jesus, looking, which means trying to seek something, not observing, not the one you conflated in. When you're observing something, you're not trying to find it. It's right here. It's right there. When you're looking for something and you can't find it, that means you haven't observed it. Their end conclusion was, we couldn't find it amongst the animals. Then they created the woman. That's the sequence of events in this drama. I'm going to make a helpmate for you, Adam. Okay? He starts to make things. And there are a bunch of animals, the things that we're not connected to. A bunch of animals. After they're made, Adam goes through them. You said God and Jesus were looking for a helpmate within the animals, because that's all that was there. There was no woman there. At the end, the Bible says they didn't find it. Then God made something else. You, the woman, came after. You were an afterthought in the Bible. And I'm just simply asking, and I will ask until it's 5 o'clock in the morning, because that's what I do. And my question is, why were God and Jesus looking for a wife amongst animals? You acknowledge they were looking. I'm just asking why. I only want to know the why. Just...
Oh, wait. You're not rational thinking at all. You just debunked your own self. You said they were looking and they couldn't find one. So when they couldn't find one, that's when he created one. He didn't want them to have He didn't want them to have an animal. He didn't find one. He didn't want them to have an animal. What do you want? You're not making any sense. Even the people in the chat are saying you're not making any sense.
Man, you know what? Y'all probably can.
And let me say this, because we know that in the Bible that bestiality, he made sure to talk about not to have bestiality. He says it in the Bible. It says mankind should not lay with the beast. He says that, and I'm gonna give you the scripture.
Yeah, that's
Killer Priest, are you there, brother? Are you there? You can look for the scripture.
I didn't interrupt you. It's no need.
Oh no, I'm talking to Killer Priest. You can go ahead and look for it. I'm talking to Killer Priest right now. Killer Priest, are you there, brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Tahu, that's enough, man. That's enough, bro. I think the people get it. They see it. Killer Priest came in a few times to try to save her a little bit. I get it, man. But damn, man, that was brutal, bro. That was brutal. I'm surprised they ain't come get you for child abuse, brother.
And 80, who's the engineer. So usually at the end of when I go to the show, they put out clips on shorts.
Mm-hmm.
80 said he wouldn't put out any clips of that show because it would look like a slaughter.
So it was a slaughter.
I said it doesn't look like
it.
it.
He can't be biased, man. Because if it would have happened to you, believe me, they would have put up clips. Naphtali and her husband, they would have put up clips, brother. Trust me.
And they did, thinking that they had the overhand. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing because people who saw it got to see. You can't make sense of this thing called the Bible.
Right.
Because it's taken from say it again?
Excellent. You're right.
Yeah. It's made from different time periods by different people who didn't know each other. There's not one group of council or group of people that was there in the book of Genesis that knew the people in the book of Daniel, in the book of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And there's different cultures that were stolen, taken. I've done many classes on it. So when we get it, by the time we get in 2026 or the 2000s, we're trying to comport and have it make sense, because somebody decided all these books should be clumped together and called the Word of God. No ancient person in what they call Africa made that decision. There's nobody in ancient Africa that ever heard of the Bible before European hands put it together. So it leaves us confused. But we have, the beautiful thing about it is that we have what our ancestors have left us. They have been translated. There's artifacts, physical, real things that you can see. So you don't need the Bible stories, because they have no dated authorship. It's just complete madness, But I respect people who actually want to think that it's. People say, "Well, Tehuti, are you being disrespectful to the religions?" No, everybody's intention. If you're a Christian, your intention usually is good. Muslim, your intention is good. It's not your fault. These things were put together before we were born, and we fell into them. We fell into the trap, and I'm destroying the religions, not the people. So if I see me talking to Elder Yara, Naphtali, any of these different people, my goal is not.
Now Zion,
get a bigger snake, nigga. Get a bigger snake. We don't do.
I love the influence. I love it.
Yeah, no doubt. Are you ready to open up the panel for question and answers?
Oh, sure. Let's go. Wait, was Zion one of the ones that came to the panel? He's gone.
Yes, he's one of the ones.
Okay.
All right, cameras got to be on, brothers. Cameras got to be on. Cameras got to be on. Zion, let's go. You was here first. Let's stick with the topic. Stay on topic. Being that you are a Hebrew Israelite, what is your question for the brother?
Listen, Tehuti is my brother. I love Tehuti. I have no argument with what he has, what he's bringing forth.
You was arguing with me yesterday.
Listen, no. Listen. There are parts you always ignore the fact that I am not like any other Hebrew Israelite. Okay. I confess the flaws of the scriptures all the time.
Okay.
I confess the flaws of human. You know what I'm saying? I always do that. Come on, Sa, you can't do that to me.
Man, that's a big snake. Hey, Tehuti, where's your other one at? Pull out the big dog, man.
Big one, bro. You got to get a bigger one.
But can you want to hear me? Can you hear me, Zion and Sa?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have around 52 snakes, so they take breaks in different turns, and so this is actually
that?
almost.
That's the bull. Is that a bull? What is it? A hog nose?
No, this is a cobra.
That's a cobra.
Yeah, this is a South American cobra.
Baby cobra.
Her name is Araret.
Okay.
And she's one of my.
Damn.
You playing with the venomous ones.
Yeah,
we
90%.
We saw you get bit that one time, and it was funny. Though. It was all right.
That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny, bro. He had to go to the hospital, bro. That ain't funny.
Did he go to the hospital? Bro?
Yeah, he had to rush him to the hospital for that.
Why you?
Can you hear me, Zion?
Yeah.
I was actually in a conversation with a brother Yara, and when the snake bit me, I continued the conversation for another 20 minutes or so. And I tried to go. I went to the hospital, but the first hospital didn't accept me, so I had to end up being driven around the city with my throat being swollen up. That was the horn poker. Why what?
Why you playing with the deadly ones, bro?
90% of my snakes are venomous.
Nah, yeah, I don't do that. I got the ball.
But I believe that you're more dangerous though.
Why you say that?
I am more dangerous.
Yeah, I believe and see that mankind is much more dangerous than any of the serpents that I have. As a matter of fact, anytime people try to call somebody a bad name dealing with an animal, they always humanize it, like the snake in the garden. There's no snakes that have been known to go out and try to hurt anybody, deceive anybody. It's humans are the. It's not a person that's a snake. It's a person that's a person. The people are the evil ones, not the animals. But we always try to pass it off. You evil snake. You evil this. No, snakes are not evil. Animals are not evil. People are. They're the
Yeah,
ones.
but those are our snakes. Zion, why you got our snakes? You're a Hebrew. You scared of them? You scared of them?
I ain't one of them. I ain't one of them. I listen. When I drop my staff and it turns into a serpent, that was everybody else's. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
All right, let me go to Kim Netter. Kim Netter, you got a question, brother?
Somebody dropped off. Oh, sorry, there's a lag.
No, that was Esau. He's back. Kim Netter, you got a question? Can't hear you, Kim Netter. All right. Esau,
like the Esau of the Bible.
I mean, Ashe, my bad. Ashe,
Ashe.
yeah. You got a question, Ashe?
Yeah, to the brother.
Go ahead.
What's the word for man in the book of Genesis, as far as creation?
There's a couple of them. One is Adama, and one is Isha, and Hai. Hai is a living being. Ish is man. Isha is woman, female, and then Adama is the same name as Earth.
And when they were talking about these creations, because I don't have no contention with you, I'm just trying to get some things straight. And when they was talking about these creations, they said they would use these words like, and they were made in the image of their own kind. In their own kind, what does that mean to you?
When you say they were made in their own kind, are you quoting a Bible verse?
Absolutely. This is how it ends. This is how Genesis ends when they're actually talking about I'll just give it to you. I'll give you the exact verses.
This is why I rock with Ashe.
So you'll see right here, Genesis, this is going to be 1:24. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creatures after his kind.
What scripture is that?
And creeping thing. That's Genesis 1:24, verse 24. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth on the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let him have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl. So, like I said, when it was speaking about their kind, what do you interpret that as? Like, what is their kind, brother?
Yeah, come on, talk about it.
What is their kind? Their kind are things that are similar to them.
So why were we excluded from that?
Right.
Why are we excluded from that? We are of our kind as well. So each specific animal is excluded from another animal's kind.
Can you tell me the chapter and verse in the Bible where it states that after man?
Oh no, I don't. Oh, beautiful. So first off, let me start you off with where I'm coming from in the reality that I teach is not coming from Bible quotes.
But we're having a conversation pertaining to the dialogue that was just had between you and the sister, and it was of a biblical dialogue, and she stated that more than 4 times.
Yes, absolutely. But if you're asking me about anatomy and genetics and different
I'm asking you about the Bible and the verses that were talked about in Genesis.
And what's your specific question about what's the specific question that just pertains to the Bible? What is the actual question?
We were talking about in their own kind, and why were us as Adam or Adama, not Isha, that would be woman. Why was that excluded?
Right.
What was it excluded from?
We were excluded from being of their kind.
And I'm saying absolutely not. No, we're not excluded from. There's no there. So first,
you just contradicted yourself literally.
So there's no such thing as some group of life forms called there. So an octopus, can you hear me? There's no group of life forms called there. Let's start with that. So an octopus is excluded from a squid's kind. A lion is excluded from a tiger's kind. They're not mating. Dogs and cats don't mate. None of them mate. And we're excluded from them, and they're excluded from different insects. All of them are excluded from each other's species unless they're of the same type. So if you're asking for a Bible answer, there's no answer in the Bible because my answers don't come from the Bible. Naphtali's does. I had a conversation with Naphtali about the Bible because I asked her a question pertaining to the Bible, which is a book that is complete chaos.
You know, being fair.
Hold on. Let us say finish. Let him finish.
because it's just funny to me. It just seemed like with all due respect, it was like a big contradiction because we were just having a conversation. We were just walking along the lines of the biblical text, and I thought everything was going fine. And then he like jumped out of the water and he went to the octopus and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy, man. Like you didn't do that with the sister. Like I see that the sister was very vulnerable and she wasn't that sharp with you, I noticed. But like when we're actually going to the text, it's kind of crazy that we see in their kind, and you see the cattle, and they actually have Hebrew words for these things as well, given them with the specification. You get what I'm saying? So when it comes to man, I think you also want to pull up the. I think I'm going to pull up the strong concordance for man in Genesis as well, because you're going to see it also be in its own species. So let me just do this. Let me do this.
Yes, brother Ashe. Brother Ashe, can you hear me clearly?
Of course.
I don't know if you can hear me. It's kind of freezing up. Can you hear me, Ashe?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you, brother. He hears you.
Okay.
Can you hear him responding? Yeah, he's responding.
I can hear him, but it looks like he's frozen. So I'm going to talk even though it looks like he's frozen. In the conversation with Naphtali, I asked her a question as a Bible believer. So that's her answers have to come out of the Bible. Do you comprehend that? My answers do not have to come out of the Bible. I'm not a Bible believer. I don't acknowledge the Bible as the answers to human or animal anatomy. But when she stands strong and says something that about the Bible, and she stands on that, she said that's her source for her answers. If you claim that's your source for your answers, then you have to stick to that. If I was a Muslim and I said my answers about anatomy and animals, they come from the Quran, then as a Muslim, you'd have to ask me questions and I'd have to stand on the Quran. You're talking to somebody that doesn't stand on the Bible, so thus my answers do not have to come from the Bible. Hers does. Do you understand that? I'm not held to a Bible. Neither is Neil deGrasse Tyson or Richard Dawkins or anybody, or neither is a Buddhist monk. If you ask a Buddhist monk about animal species, he doesn't have to come from the Bible. But if he says his answers are coming from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, then he has to hold fast to that. You should ask me, what do I hold fast to first, as opposed to wanting me to answer.
No, absolutely not. I will not do that because that will go against what sa.neter instructed us to do. And what sa instructed us to do was to stay on task, right? To the conversation that be. So me asking you about your personal belief will actually take away from the conversation that I just sat here for over an hour and watched. So what I'm going to come up here and talk about is the conversation that I just sat here over an hour and watched.
All right, but I strongly disagree with you.
Oh, man.
Because let me tell you why. The brother is telling you straight up that Naphtali foundation is the Bible. So I'm dealing with her in the Bible. I don't believe in the Bible. So my answers to your question is not going to be based on the Bible. That's what the brother is saying to you. How can you not get that?
Okay,
I don't get it, brother.
Okay, so
let's say this.
Okay, so because I was in the middle of dialogue and I let Sa speak.
Yeah.
But since you even gave that recommendation, do you really want to talk about the extraterrestrial Neteru that you believe walk the planet? Is that where we going?
Yeah, because we end up losing the focus of the conversation, which is the Bible topic.
That's what I'm saying. I thought that was the focus of the whole conversation. And yesterday as well.
He don't believe
it. Let me tell you what the focus is. Let me tell you what the focus is. The focus is sa.neter saw me have a conversation with Naphtali on Killer Priest. He was quite impressed, and he said he wanted to review that conversation. That's what the focus is. If anybody comes up to the panel and they want to ask my stance or Naphtali's stance, our stance has to come from where we particularly stand. My stance does not come from the Bible, so therefore my answers on human anatomy and my answers on species of animals and wildlife is not going to come from the Bible.
But
All
you
that
was
was
up there
happening
talking about the Hebrew and everything.
Of course, because I'm talking to a Hebrew. I'm not sure if something is hard to understand. So if you understand what I do, I talk to people on the levels that they're at. So if I'm talking to a Buddhist monk, I'm not going to start answering from the Bhagavad Gita. And if I'm talking to a Hindu, I'm not going to start answering from Sumerian texts. I'm going to stick inside of his Hindu teachings and ask him questions, and we're going to discuss that until he says, I want to come out of it. Naphtali did not want to come out of the Bible, so thus I stuck inside the Bible and just asked a question. That's what that conversation was. If you're asking me about me, that's completely different from what the conversation was. I can answer about what was happening in the conversation. Naphtali was trapped in her Bible.
It was the whole conversation was centered around the Bible due to Naphtali being there, correct?
Absolutely. You got it. Ding, ding, ding. You got it now.
So the only way that we can have a dialogue about what we just watched for over an hour is to have this conversation from the perspective that the conversation was in, bro.
But not the perspective of but not the perspective of Naphtali. We can have a conversation based on the perspective of the conversational topic, and then you can ask me what I teach on that topic. But I'm not going to be narrowed down to have the conversation to answer what the Bible says about life.
No, you don't have to agree with it none whatsoever, brother. That's not what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with it, but if we're going to observe the text for what the text say, let's at least do it accurately.
And what is inaccurate? But just can you quote something I said that was inaccurate, please? Let's go ahead and pull the snake.
It was the whole way that the sister whole point was that when you go into the text that she subscribed.
Ask 1,200.
Your sister's point that when you go into hold on, wait.
What I said that was inaccurate,
this is
please.
what they do. Hold on, we're not going to pigeonhole me into your questions.
Quote the statement that I made in the conversation that was inaccurate.
The sister's whole point was that man and animals were separate in her doctrine that she subscribes to. So when I just went to the doctrine that she subscribed to, and we got to talking about animals and they kind, and then we got to talking about men being excluded from animals and they kind, boom.
So I say.
Hold on, man.
Hold up. I say.
Was that a quote from me?
Go ahead, Tehuti.
I'm sorry. Again, can you quote something I said in the conversation that was incorrect?
You told her that in her culture, animals and humans are the same. That's what you told her. Several times.
I told her the word for animals, the word for hayim that she said was the word for animals is the same word for living kind of man. That's what I told her. Is that incorrect or correct?
You said living thing. Living thing.
Did I say something incorrect or correct?
I think this is where we get the confusion.
Yeah, I think he flim-flamming a little bit. You're correct. You're correct in what you said. Yes, that's what you said.
Then again I ask you the question. Can you please quote what I said was incorrect? Thank you so much. I'm late.
In the context of the conversation, you were incorrect.
Can you please quote something that I said was incorrect, please?
The Bible distinguishes humans from animals.
Can you please quote what I said?
That's the whole thing. You told her that they were the
same. Hold on, Zion. It's one at a time. I'll let you go next. I called on you first, Zion. You ain't had nothing to say.
I didn't get a chance to really say anything. I didn't put my foot in his butt yet. You didn't give me an opportunity to put my foot in his butt. Because I got it for him. I got a whole boot.
Well, in other words, Ashe, you cannot stand on anything that I said was incorrect. You can't quote anything I said was incorrect in the conversation.
Your premise was incorrect, brother.
You got to quote something. Say it. State it. What did he say that was incorrect?
Incorrect. Him saying that animals and humans, according to the biblical narrative, that was incorrect. His stance, and her stance, when she told you, okay, according to science, you got it. The scientific definition, Merriam-Webster definition, you got it. But when it came to her culture, in the layout of creation, you don't have it. That's all.
The only
and
thing
you
I
just
said
admitted that, and you low-key just admitted that when I shared the screen, but then you wanted to get to talking about your own self. You wanted to get to talking about, whoa, but I believe this, because you wanted to run from what the actual text was saying. And that's the fact.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I said animals were same in the language. That's what I said. I showed the definition of animals in the language, and that humans, my statement was humans are animals. That's the definition of the word. If you'd like to use another word other than animal, please choose the word, please, and we'll use that. I'll do that. Well, I'll do it to you. What I did.
I'll put my screen back up, and we can go to the definition to the words that are actually used in the text, right? When they get to talking about the animals, and we can use them.
Come on,
right?
Preach, I say.
So let's go. So let's go to them. Let's go to the creatures. So we see right here. We see a word: cattle, beast, animal, cattle, a behemoth. Huh? So we can. That's a word we can use. Are you a behemoth? I don't think you are.
Oh, great. Well, beautiful.
Hold on, wait. Hold on.
Thank you. Can we do one at a time?
Hold on, wait.
May we do one at a time?
Hold on, wait. God, don't cut me off, brother.
I like to do one step at a time.
That's not comedic. Don't be rude. That's not.
Can we do one step at a time? We don't. We're not doing.
Yeah,
Can we deal with the first thing you brought up, please? No or no? I want to deal with that.
You're dwelling in Isfet, but okay, we'll go back to the other word, please. Okay,
please go back. I want to deal with one. I like taking step by step. I like to walk with you, step by step. What's this word here? You said behemoth. What's that?
Behemoth.
What?
Yeah.
What is it? What type of creature does this describe?
This will describe a cattle, beast, animals, herd, kinds of cattle from an unused root, probably meaning to be mute. A dumb beast, any large quadruped or animal. That's one. That's one of them that are used. Okay, that's one. Then we see this word right here. Here. It's another one.
I don't want to move from that word, please. I want to stay with that word. I want to deal with. Right. Because I have you in the word now. Here we go. Let's do it step by step, young man. Let's walk. Let's deal with behemoth. So I asked the question. Behemoth describes what type of species? What four-legged? What is it? So a behemoth is the. So when it says we separate animals into their own kind. This kind is a four-legged mammal. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Wonderful. Let me just see something because I may have it wrong. Let me just see.
Okay, take your time.
Something here clearly, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to take my time because I want to deal with word for word. Let me see. Let's see. Let's brush up on the Hebrew. So we got four-legged mammal, a behemoth, thing of its kind. Okay. It's pulling up here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we got it here. Okay. So that's behemoth. So behemoth. Oh, where are we? So behemoth is a four-legged beast. That's what a beast. Oh, I'm sorry. What's the word? Behemoth. Behemoth.
Yeah.
Not
the behemoth.
Behemoth is a beast, right?
Yes, correct.
No,
it's right there.
I'm reading it. I see the first thing, cattle and beast. And then what is a high? Is that another type of creature? Is that another type of species? High?
You asking the question. You asking the question without providing what you actually talking about. Because
yes,
now
because we're trying to get to the word.
Wait. We're not moving that choke. We're not moving that choke.
No, we're not. We're staying with beast. We're staying with beast. I want to stick with you. Where's your screen? I want to see you.
He got off for a minute. He'll come back.
Yeah, Ross, crazy.
I can't see this. Is anybody on the screen?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
we're here. Yeah, I said we ain't moving at your pace, brother. You trying to move the animal already? No.
I'm not. No, I'm dealing with the English translation. I'm dealing with what a beast is. What is a beast?
A
All right,
beast.
the
The English word. See that this right here, what I have up on the screen, bro. This is the concordance. So what we can do in the concordance is we can hit the English word. That English word right there. That's cattle. That's cattle right there. Right. I don't know what word you just used. That wasn't even English.
Which word did I use, sir?
What? I don't know. What did you just say?
High.
And where is high at in here?
We're gonna get there. I'm trying to
How are we
decide.
gonna get there? And I was the one giving the walkthrough.
Yes, we're giving a walkthrough with the word beast. So the word beast is separate from a fish. Is that correct? A beast is separate from a fish? A beast is cattle, four-legged animals. Is that correct?
Of course. Yes. This is the word you're looking for. Kai. This is the word you're looking for. Kai. Right?
Kai. And what's this word here? Kai.
In this is a wild beast, congregation, life, living creature, maintenance, merry multitude. From Kaya. See, he trying to pigeonhole back into this. Like, what is you doing, bro? Like, no, you trying to go back to the Kai thing so you can keep on trying to play an illusion.
That's what,
when they're actually giving you the specifics over here. Like, you're trying to create this illusion, and I really don't respect that. I can't respect that.
The Kai was the word in the Kai. The word that I brought up is the specific word in me and Naphtali's conversation, sir. That's the word that I brought up.
And but the word that you was avoiding is the word that I just brought onto you, brother.
The word that I'm bringing up is the word in me and Naphtali's conversation.
Let's get the chronology of the conversation.
Come on to the screen, young man. Come on to the screen.
Hold on. I'm on the screen. Let's get the chronology of the conversation, my man. You asked, is there another word that you would like me to use? And I said, yes, here are several other words that we can use. Okay. So I don't know, like, what you're trying to pigeonhole me into this Kaya thing for.
I'm not pigeonholing you into anything.
I'm strictly answering your question.
Yes, and I'm dealing with the word, the specific word that I brought up to Naphtali. That is the word that translates to as beast in the Bible. Did you know that? Hi.
Yes, that's what we see.
What speed? So I want you to come to the screen. I really want to look at you. If you please, I can't see. Is anybody?
You don't need to look at me, brother. You don't need.
I want to see you on the screen. Get this. We are okay. We got this on the screen. We have that. Now, could you come back to the screen, please? Okay. Thank you.
No, I'll say it's on top.
Hey, there you are. There you are. Beautiful. So the word that me and Naphtali dealt with, that was the word for animal, that is high, which you pronounce as chai. That's the word that translates to in the Bible.
Word for beast.
Girl. Okay. Are you wonderful? Are you of that? Are you a beast? Are you of that? Are you a beast?
According to the biblical narrative, I am of the beast. Yes, it says it literally in Genesis.
Thank you, sir.
But so when we go from there, but you're not even going to read on. You're just going to stop there. You're not even going to get the context. Hold on, wait. If this is the problem, and this is what you did to the sister, because you didn't give any context, and she was giving you context, but I guess because her screen wasn't up, she wasn't getting the due respect, or maybe because she was a lady. And God said, so let's read it again. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beasts of the earth after his kind, and it was so. So what is the cattle, creeping thing, and I see how these are differentiated.
They had kinds.
And do you see that those are different species? Those are different things, like cattle, creeping.
Yes, that's why we say after his kind. This word in here is species.
Yes. Okay, no problem.
When we go to what is it that I said? Now, I need you to slow down a little bit, my man, because I'm going to go to this word man. Hold on, wait. I'm going to go to this word man. Now, what does it say right here? I want you to read this for me. What's the word? What does this mean? Human being, an individual, or the species, mankind. It don't include, is beast in here?
And where? What word is that?
This is the word for man in the creation. It was a whole separate creation, literally. And that's what the sister told you. According to her, no, I don't subscribe to this, but we have to at least be genuine.
Honest
about other people's cultures.
Come on, T.
Are humans animals, brother?
Yes, we are.
What was Jesus? What was God looking for amongst the animals, brother?
A helpmate for him.
And what was he looking for? Who was he looking for? Who?
He was looking throughout. He was looking throughout the beast of the field.
Okay, then. So that's for what? For what?
For him, a helpmate, son.
All right, bro. Come on.
I'm not denying that, bro. Like we just go by the text, though.
I could tell you what a helpmate is, right? I got it pulled up right here. When you put the words together, a help meet, right? When you put the words together in Hebrew, the first word for help is ezer. That's strength, rescue, or succor. Not like a sucker, like how we call them, but succor, right? And that denotes to a vital essence of protective power. And it says in the Hebrew primary records, it's mostly equivalent to the creator, a superior or equal, right? And then it say it's providing an essence of aid, and it says the recipient cannot provide this for themselves, right? And then when you get to the connecto, which is the meat, it tell you that it's corresponding to him as in front of him or his mirroring opposite. It is a term of proximity and equality that is describing someone who stands face to face, eye to eye as a direct peer. So if that's what God was looking for amongst the animals and the beast, that he specifically created to be a helpmeet to Adam, that was a failed attempt, and he is still correct.
Yeah. No, I say you did all of that. You did all of that, I say, and you was agreeing with Tehuti, bro.
But you're forgetting the grand part. But what comes at the end? But they was found none suitable.
Right, and that's where he failed. But listen, though, that's where he failed. But listen, that's where he failed because hold on, listen. Hold on, listen, but that's where God would have failed because he specifically created these. Hold on, but look, he specifically created these animals or beasts to be a helpmate to him that they did not find amongst what he created. So that was a failure. And then later on, he created what was woman for the man.
Amongst his kind. That's when he said, oh, you know what?
So he failed to make his first mate in his first attempt.
And guess what? Now, guess what? To add on to that, as the scripture goes on, God learned something from his own creation. What did he learn? He learned that animals can't be a helpmate to humans. And so that's why he began to write and say, man should not lay down with beasts of the field. Because now he know that you can't lay with a goddamn beast. Because he failed in that one right there. There was no helpmate for Adam. He said it.
Right, that's something he should have already knew. He shouldn't have had to learn that from failing.
Hold up. So all of that stuff when Hebrews run to a scripture and say, no, because look, man, he said that man should not lay with beasts, so beasts can't lay with a man. But that's after he learned the lesson.
Right.
See? That's after.
And sa.neter, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah.
Is the definition there of helpmate the mirroring image, the equal? What that was one of the definitions?
Yeah, it literally say right here that's for the meat part. It say that is corresponding to him as in front of him or his mirroring opposite. It say that this is a term of proximity and equality, describing someone who is standing face to face and eye to eye as a direct peer.
So let me say this. So if they were all animals, hold on, wait. Now let me say this. So if they was all animals, what is the issue with finding them a helpmate? Because they're not of the same kind.
Finding them the helpmate ain't
Adam's kind. Adam is not the same as them, so Adam cannot be a helpmeet as them.
And that's okay, right?
I don't have a problem with that. Hold on, wait, Cam, because I didn't cut you off, brother, and you told me not to, so I didn't.
No, I never said that, but I agree with you. Go ahead.
Now, when we see him looking for this helpmate, like you just said, there's nothing, the equivalent of this helpmate that you just described for Adam amongst these animals that Tehuti is saying that he is one of. Obviously showing a differentiation between Adam and the rest of them. And also, Adam is given dominion over them. Can you show me another animal that is given dominion over any other animal in that joint? Or is it just this special animal that's Adam? that you're trying to make it to be, like you do with the Neteru that are extraterrestrials.
Okay, now watch this. I'll agree that based on the Bible, that this specific animal that is Adam is given dominion over all of these animals. And now you say, what is the problem of him having a helpmate? It's no problem with them creating a helpmate for him. Where the problem come in at is that they tried to create a helpmate that they did not find amongst the animals, which right there show you that he made a mistake.
There you go.
If you're the all-knowing God, you should have just created the animals with the woman all at once so that everybody would have had a helpmate right there in the creation. But the fact that he had created those things to have a helpmate, even though it don't specifically say in the Bible that he created helpmates for all the animals, it alludes to the fact that he do. So even with that in itself showing that Adam did not get a helpmate amongst those creations and he had to make a separate thing, show you that he made a fucking mistake. Excuse me, but he made a mistake. That's the problem. It's not a problem that they created a helpmeet for him. The problem is that he made a mistake in the first time trying to do it.
All right, hold on.
And that is
all right. Let me go on over to Zion. Zion, go ahead, get it all out, brother. Get it out, my man.
so yeah, this is exactly where I wanted to go, right? But I wasn't trying to be contentious with my brother Tehuti. There's not that I don't disagree with certain points of his argument. I agree with a lot of points of his argument. You know what I'm saying? I'm not freaking daggone black and white. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think I'm supposed to be black and white because I'm an Israelite Rasta. No, the Rasta part makes
brother,
me have.
Come on, man. Just come on and get it in.
All right. So anyway, so when that is perfect because there obviously was a distinction behind the kinds. Now, if we're saying that he was looking for an actual equal opposite to Adam out of the animal, this is one of the things that a lot of folks miss, is that beast can refer to humans as well in context. Beast can refer to a certain level of human development that was not on the level that Adam was. So there were beasts that were hominids, that were called beasts, that were not mankind, like my brother Ashe just got finished saying, that were considered beasts of the field according to the scripture.
But when you make statements like that, brother, when you make statements like that, but when you make statements like that, show it in the Bible, brother.
Did you cut Tehuti off?
Yeah, because you're making up stuff. Show it in the Bible before it says all that.
Okay, so the word Gentile, the word Goyim means beast man. It means beast and man at the same time. Wipe your mouth, fix your face. You got the wrong one. So yeah, beast and man can be co-synonymous in context. But this is one of the reasons why we find that in certain scriptures, man that was appointed by God, you know what I'm saying, who was anointed by God, was not supposed to lay with certain other goyim, beasts like men or beasts like female. So beasts can literally reflect on animal kind and each of their different kinds, as well as certain human kinds can also be labeled as beasts. We see that with the term goyim.
Can I ask you something real quick? If you don't mind me, I don't want to cut you off, but I want to ask you something on that point, right? So look, now, since you're saying they had a distinction between beast and man, at the time of the creation of these animals that was supposed to be the helpmate, did we have the distinction or the order to not sleep with certain beasts or animals or whatnot yet?
Nope.
Exactly my point. So that go to show you that these animals that was being made at that time was specifically to be a helpmeet to him, but that he failed at doing that in his first creation.
And hold up, Zion. Let me add on to that, Zion. Hold on. And just like Tehuti was trying to make it clear, to you, brother Ashe, and to you, Naphtali, that just like they got octopus, they got monkeys, they got deers, they are all called animals. And then God created us so-called humans, but we are all called animals, right? But we are our own different species. But guess what? Because we are animals, God thought, okay, let us create some animals. For animals.
So what happened?
He considered us to be animals too, but there was no.
So, hold on, yeah, big objection. Because what happened in the verses before that with Nakibal and Zakar? And this is where you really get them at, because they so stuck on Adam just being this dolo dude, but they don't understand that it was a male and female creation. So what about
Let
that
me
male
send
and female
Ashe a cash
creation?
app. Let me send Ashe a cash app.
What
Put your
about
cash
that?
app up, Ashe.
What about that? What about that male and female creation? What about Nakibal and Zakar? That's a real question. I'm really asking that.
The whole people in the land of Nod, yo. Come on, man.
I'm really asking that.
Put that cash app up for Ashe tonight, bro.
Yo, y'all can put the
I'm asking that. I'm asking that.
Cut that light on. Where you at, Ashe? Let the people see your face.
Yeah, let me cut it over.
Hold on. I want everybody to take a look at Ashe. And I said it before, and I know I'm right. Ashe is an undercover Israelite. He's an undercover Israelite. I'm telling you, man.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah, don't do that.
That's the label you get when you speak truth, though. That's the real label you get when you speak truth.
Shalom.
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 Crazy, man.
That's that real label you get, though, when you speak truth, though.
Let me go to Moses, and then I got you, Yara. You want to say anything, Tehuti, before I go to Moses?
Yeah, you can put us on the screen, please. Let us all be on the screen. I just want to see everybody. So again, the only point that I was making was that we are animals, and other animals are animals as well. And amongst the life forms of the animate beings, there are species that can't cohabit or interact sexually and have children. And that's fine. That means that's that specific kind of animal, but still under the umbrella of animal based on the definition of animal. So we're all animals. And if we don't want to use that word, then we can't have the conversation that Naphtali was having. Naphtali didn't know the Hebrew word. She went to Hayim. That's fine. People are called both. Hayim just means living beings. Are we squid? Can we mate with a squid? And are we supposed to? Absolutely not. Are we monkeys or chimpanzees? And are we supposed to have sex with chimpanzees and have babies? Absolutely not. And they are not two with each other. All under the umbrella of animals, which is an animate being that breathes. And amongst all of the animals, different beings are similar and they can mate and have family. And that was the only point that I was making. And when I made the point about the Bible, about the God in the Bible at first thought that we were the same. That's clear. The fact that he was looking for a mate amongst the animals. Afterwards, then there came laws. Afterwards, then he made a woman. But in the initial beginning, Naphtali said, and this debate is only because of Naphtali's words, I'm taking her words. She said it was God and Jesus that was looking amongst the animals for a wife for Adam.
Right.
So being that she said it was God and Jesus, I held her to that if God and Jesus was looking for a wife amongst animals, then at first God and Jesus must have thought that they were the same, or else why be looking? That was the only point.
Right.
I usually don't have conversations on topic like that long because there's so much to teach, but that was the only point that I was making, and no one has quoted me that I've said anything wrong yet. So
yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with your stance.
All right, hold on. Let me bring on Moses, man. Moses, you up, man?
Yeah, but let Ashe finish that point that he was making, because there's something I gotta pull up before I talk to Tehuti. But Ashe, finish that point that you was just making.
They don't want to answer the question. They just called me a Hebrew and wrote me off the record.
Shalom.
Okay. All right. All right. So, all All right, so peace and blessings to the fam. I would like to say, ancestors dwelling in the light of Yah the Most High, shine down on and in the lives of all the Creator's righteous children, resurrecting His gods on earth. Brother Tehuti, man, I appreciate you being on the platform, bro. You have always been somebody I felt understood where I was coming from, right? But then I see this debate with you and Naphtali, and I'm like, now I have to switch from you over to brother Ashe because Ashe was dealing with it the way it was supposed to be dealt with, man. So let me walk with you real quick. Let me walk with you. All right. So let's deal with the first point that you said because I want to hit you with this parable. You said that we are animals. You agree that the Africans are animals? Is that your premise? That we are animals? Because you notice these people in the Bible, it's in the African territory. Are you saying that those are animals? God is an animal. What are you saying about animals? Or
great question. And great question. I hope you continue to go by the name. Don't go back. You went back to Moses. It's supposed to be Thutmose, remember?
Oh, it's on there. Yes, it's on there. It's just that I'm trying to get people to understand who is who. You know, they understand that Moses is off, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get them to understand that this is a person that comes from the ether. You know what I mean? So, all right. So let me hit you with this parable real quick, right? Okay. So let's say
I will answer your question. Oh, sorry, Moses. Okay. I will answer your question though. I don't want to divert. I was just playing with something part of our history.
Right.
And you. But yes, are the Africans animals? See, according to these words that we're using, absolutely. Do I acknowledge any such people called Africans? No, but if we label people called Africans and we're using the English word animals, the people who invented or created those languages that we're using, the dictionary that we're using, yes, Africans are animals and Chinese are animals according to the language we're using. Yes, they're animated, breathing beings. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay. So let me hit you with this parable, and then I'm gonna ask you the question again, right? So on this earth, where the animals are, and that includes the Africans, because you're saying the Africans are animals too. So on this earth where the animals are, and you work for NASA, right? And you put on a spacesuit. NASA, you know, the NASA, the space.
I thought you were asking if I work for NASA. Sorry.
No. I'm drawing out a parable for you. I'm making an example for you because there's a question coming. All right. So you have animals on Earth, and the animals that work at NASA put on a spacesuit so that they could go into outer space. They're in a different environment. They're in an environment which is space. Are they do they then become space? Are they what you would refer to as aliens, or are they merely animals wearing a spacesuit? That's the question. Are they animals wearing a spacesuit, or do they become aliens? Do they become space beings since they're in that environment?
Oh my God.
Okay. So to answer your question, then I'm going to show something. If an animal from Earth puts on a spacesuit.
Hey, Tehuti, hold on a second, bro. I'm sorry. Hey, this brother Zion, right? He's supposed to be Rastafari, right? He's very listen. Notice I let him build.
Let Tehuti answer the question, man. Don't pause to try to do that. Let Tehuti answer it.
I'm trying to, but he ain't saying nothing. He's doing it on purpose.
He's just being animated
because he don't want nobody.
But he's not talking. He's just being animated.
Why is his mic not muted? His mic ain't even muted. Whenever anybody on this platform talks, I give y'all the respect. I put the doggone mic on mute so that y'all can build. Whenever I'm trying to build, I got to deal with ignorant niggas like this. Why I got to deal with an ignorant nigga? Why you just practice your Bible, Zion. Do unto others as you'll do unto yourself, bro. Put your microphone on mute, bro. I'm asking you to give the same respect I gave you. I gave you respect. Give me the same respect.
Stop talking
All right,
to me.
hey, start now right here. So look, let's just end it like I said, and let Tehuti go ahead and answer it.
I wasn't even finished with the question because this dude he wasn't
You were Tehuti was actually starting to answer it already.
I wasn't even finished with the question.
My mic was off the whole time. I didn't say nothing.
It's like WWF.
This nigga's slower than snail shit.
No. I remember whenever you touch wrestling. This is weird. Okay, so Mo, I want to answer the question you asked: if animals from the planet go into outer space, are they aliens? Or are they animals with a spacesuit? Is that the question? Did I get that right?
I'm gonna ask you the question again.
Okay, thank you.
If everyone on the planet is animals, according to you, but they work at NASA and they put on a spacesuit and then they go into another environment, which is in outer space, are they an animal inside of a spacesuit, or do they now become an alien out in space?
But you are changing it. You did say monkey at first.
I didn't.
Okay, here we. Okay,
I got a question.
I don't understand it, man. I was quiet the whole time y'all brothers was building. Anytime I come up here, I got to deal with this filibuster and shit.
No, I'm just keeping it clear for clarity.
Yo. Just let Moses talk, man. Let him talk.
Okay, real quick, he was done though. I was just keeping it clear for clarity because at first he specifically asked if they were space monkeys, and now he just changing it to
space monkeys.
Everybody heard it.
I ain't said nothing. Play it back. I said nothing about no space monkeys.
Yo, Moses, you got the floor. Let's go, brother.
All right. So once again, Tehuti, you said that we are animals, and all I'm just trying to draw out a parable. If you are an animal and you put on a spacesuit, but you go in a different environment, which is outer space, are you an animal inside of a spacesuit, or do you become what they call aliens that live in outer space?
Okay, wonderful. Sa.neter, share my screen, please. We got the question finally. Share my screen,
Sa.neter, grab a cigarette, man. You know it's bad.
Somebody smoking? Oh no.
Yeah, they done drove my brother to the tobacco.
Your body's a temple. The body's a temple. Don't do it. Okay. Sa.neter, can you share my screen? Share my screen, Sa.neter. Sa.neter's in the share my screen, please.
I'll put it up there, Tehuti, bro. I got you, bro.
You can do it?
There you go.
How did you do that, good brother?
I'm just working on the back. I'm back, bro.
Hey, how did Ashe get the power to do that? Thank you, Ashe. I'd never seen anyone else do that before. All right, so Moses. So Tutmos. So again, just to be clear again, this is the definition that I use for the word that we're using, because the word is in the dictionary with the etymology, and it's animal, a being that breathes of air. That's animate, sentient, living creature. That's all I wanted to show. So to answer the question, if you take a monkey or animal from Earth or anything from Earth and put it into outer space, is it still an animal? Yes, it is a living, sentient being. Can it be an alien? Well, an alien would be something that would be from outside of the planet, originating. So if you're from the planet and you take even if you get on an airplane and you leave the planet and fly to Jamaica, while you're flying or going to outer space, you're not an alien, but an animal can be sent into outer space and it can still be an animal, but only if it comes back this way to Earth, then it would be an animal and an alien. So that's the answer to that. I hope I answered that. And now you're screen sharing something?
Yeah, because I'm getting ready to start building with you from the Bible based on what your response was. I agree with your response 100%. And the reason why I brought that parable out is because our ancestors in this territory, they understood that they were evolution from microbes from the universe that came on the earth, and then they evolved from that. So since they saw themselves as coming from the universe and into this environment, why is it not the reverse? Why are they not space beings wearing this earth suit that you're referring to as an animal? Are they still animals when they see themselves as space beings wearing an earth suit? You see what I'm saying? If we know that animals wearing a spacesuit are still animals, then why is it that people in Kemet who see themselves as products of the universe, why are you looking at them as animals when they see themselves as beings from space wearing an Earth suit? You understand where I'm coming from with that?
Is that a question you're asking, or is that rhetorical?
Yeah, yes. So I'm asking you, why are you associating the term animal with these people in Africa, or like with Kemetic people, or people that was in Kush?
Because he's not a pseudo.
Somebody said that he believes in aliens.
I mean, that is.
But you ain't call. But you didn't call him pseudo. Yo, put yourself on mute, bro. You ain't said nothing about this man being a pseudo when I say said that he believes in aliens. You ain't said nothing. So obviously you got a problem with me. And if you got a problem with me, that's going to be a major problem, because I ain't never said nothing, did nothing. I don't even know you, dude. So for you to have a problem with me and you don't even know me, that's a major problem. You don't want that problem.
Okay, let's come off the screen.
Stay on mute, bro.
Let's take the screen share back down. Are you still using the screen share?
Well, no. If you got a response to my question, I got to start all over from that first scripture.
Okay. All right. Okay. So when you get into beautiful question. So when you get into the culture of the Nile, the words are much different. The words are much different than what we're describing here. So people were called Rem because of the evolutionary cycle of water and because of the quote-unquote tears of Ra. All life forms were called Ankh. Ankh applied to animals, applied to people, it applied to lions, it would apply to all of that. So we didn't have a meta word that distinguished it, but we had a word that was describing male and female's connection to Ra, and that was Rem. So if those people were out of space and came here, like you're saying, that which is not what I'm saying, but if there's people that came, or beings that came from here out of space to come here, they're still animals. Only because of the definition of English. We're using the English word. You understand? Now, if we're going to go into the meta-neter or go into another language, then we'd have to abide by what the word is for animal in that language. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to superimpose my definition and feelings upon a language that already pre-existed prior to me being born. So if a word means this in this language, it covers all of that. So whether they go outer space, inner space, or whatnot, yes. And I want you to understand also, to Thutmose, that calling yourself an animal, calling the Africans an animal and all these things, it's not derogatory. It's only derogatory when racism comes in, where people try to say that you're different from an animal, and black people were being called monkeys and animals and things like that. But it's not derogatory. If you just stick with the word, it just means an animate, sentient being. That could be in outer space, in space, underground. If you're Nubian, Shambhala, if you're wherever the being is existing, that is an animal. So yes, the African, dark-skinned, woolly-haired, supreme being on this planet, God of the earth, was an animal. Yes.
Okay, all right. So the only reason I was making that parable and asking you that question, because I keep trying to get sa.neter to understand what a biblical God really is. And I heard all of y'all talk about biblical God like the way the white supremacists have taught y'all about God. And that's not what a God is. We are not animals. We are the gods. And the reason why we are the gods is because we began as stardust in the cosmos. Whereas the Indians, the Asians, the Caucasians, the Bible tells you they come from dust of the ground. They come from here below. Their origin is from here below. Our origin is from the universe above. So that's the reason why I was getting into the conversation about the whole animal thing, because our ancestors saw themselves as a higher intelligence than these earth animals down here. All right, so now let's go to.
I'm sorry, Thutmose, real quick. Do you acknowledge the genome sequencing, reverse genome sequencing, and them finding ancient man, and then using the genome and using the sequencing to actually redesign what the person looked like?
I've seen that, but anything that the Europeans give to me, I have to take it with a grain of salt, because they don't want us to know who God really was and
Like
what our
Cheddar Man. Have you heard of Cheddar Man from Britain?
I've seen that. I've seen that.
Okay, so I just want to know if you acknowledge that they use science to get to a conclusion, and a lot of pro-black people are happy with the Cheddar Man. They're happy with the beings that look brown skin, woolly hair, or wavy hair, because they say, hey, we're the original man. That's how you actually prove scientifically that we came from, that the original man looked like us, or else you wouldn't be able to prove it.
But Cheddar Man had straight hair like an animal, though. It didn't have no wool hair like ours. He didn't have 9.
Okay, what is this? Oh, hey, Tazaria.
Oh, my bad. Let me hurry up and finish, because they don't really like me building too much on it.
Okay, so when you say Cheddar Man didn't have woolly hair like an animal, right?
No, he had straight hair like an animal. He did not have hair. He didn't have hair like Africans.
He didn't have woolly hair like us. Okay, now you're making a distinction of animals and us based on the hair. He didn't have straight hair like an animal. He had straight hair like an animal, not woolly hair like us. That was the statement, correct?
Yes.
Okay. The shirt, the clothes that we're wearing, some of them are made out of cotton, some of them are made out of wool. True?
Yeah, I agree.
The one that's made out of wool, what species is that coming from? That's a human?
No, it's coming from the sheep. Sheep and lambs and sheep.
And the lambs and sheep, to you, would you consider them humans or animals?
Oh, yeah, those are a form of animal as well.
And what kind of hair did you say we have? We
have wool hair, 9-ether.
Where's wool from again?
4C, 9-ether. And wool definitely comes from animals and which are sheep and lambs, but it's a parable. That's the word I'm looking for. We're looking for a parable. It's an analogy to show that there's a difference between lambs and goats. Goats are almost the same species as lambs, but you notice that their hair structure is different.
So the pride that
all right, that's enough with Moses, man. Let me bring on another Bible thumper. A Bible thumper is also in the building. Revelation, what's going on?
It's gonna take 2 seconds. I just gotta say this to Moses because I was wrong. I went back and listened. You didn't say animal. I mean monkey. You did specifically say animal. That was my bad.
Honorable, and he's gone.
All right, come on, Revelation X. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm here. Peace and blessings to everyone. Peace and blessings.
Yes, sir.
I am Selassie the First, Rastafari King. Peace and blessings to everyone, Tehuti. Peace and blessings to you, sir. Just good. I have to say good work with the well, I don't know if to call it a debate, but that with you and Naphtali. However, I have to say be careful with Naphtali because she has powers, and I enjoy your work, so I'm not really here for you. I'm actually here for the conversation and for sa.neter, and for a couple of things that we spoke about in terms of the creation story. I saw you posting up a pastor. That's the same pastor that has to go against Captain Tazariak, I think. And he said that the creation story is one creation, right? That's what he said, right? Yes, sir. That's the guy.
That question is for sa.neter?
Yeah, it's actually for Sa. I ain't got no. If you wish to chime in, Tehuti, and help me out, because I always say this is like a classroom to me. I'm not a scholar. I'm here to learn. And I just be expressing what I'm confused about. All right. So if you can chime in and help me out and answer some questions, I would very much appreciate it. Now, sa.neter, as well as the pastor, stands on the genesis is that, I believe the human being in chapter 1 is the same human being in chapter 2, meaning Adam and Eve. So I have some questions for you, my brother sa.neter. I hope you can answer them for me. All right. The first one would be this. Seeing that it is written in chapter 1 that God gave man and woman dominion over the entire earth, and in chapter 2, Adam and Eve was only confined to a garden eastward of Eden. How could you say, how is that so? I'm sorry, let me ask the right question. Why was Adam and Eve only confined to a garden eastward of Eden when the first man and woman was set to populate the entire globe, sa.neter? Could you answer that for me? Or Tehuti, anybody? Anybody?
I'm not sure. So I hear you.
Two different creations.
I don't believe you asking me this nonsense, brother. It's not two different creations. I just explained it before. When God said, let us create man in our image, that was the first time he's telling you what he's going to do. In the first book of Genesis, he's explaining to the world, to y'all, to the readers, how he's going to create man in our image. And when you go to the book of Genesis 2, that's when he presented and act out on it. How can it be 2 and 3 creations? This is God. Yeah, God only going to make one creation of life. He ain't going to make no 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 creations, bro. That is crazy. It's one creation story. One. And then some people will say, well, what about the flood? And when he killed everybody, he didn't kill everybody. There's still Noah and his family here. So he didn't kill everybody. That's not a creation story. Noah and them created more people. That's not God creating another man from the dust, from the dirt. That's not God doing that. That's Noah and his family doing that.
You know what the heed them and the.
Come on, man, y'all wilding.
Okay, sir, I'm not
wilding. Rev, he did clarify that. He clarified that he was talking about one specific creation, the Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. One preludes to the other. You know what I'm saying? It says us, and then later on, then we see it happen.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
But the way that they're kicking it makes, but you see how that contradicts the whole point that they created, though, with the whole looking for the help me. Why is God looking for Adam to help me if we already get in the previous text that he created male and female, Zakar and Nakibo, but then we see later on he's looking for help. Why is he looking for it? That's how you know it's two creations. That's how you know, common sense wise, because later on, Adam is this lonely man in the garden.
So here's the problem.
Adam is taken away. Adam is taken away from the tribe Adam. But it's deeper than that, man. Like that's what
I agree with you. Now here's the thing, and this is where I'm going to beat Naphtali because I'm debating Naphtali coming up next week. I'm debating Naphtali, and oh my God, bro! Like I feel so bad that you had to go.
No,
through that.
wrong beating on that system. Wrong, man.
No, I love
right,
Naphtali. But she really looks at the Bible from a very crayon drawing position. Like there are those who look at the Bible from a very mathematical position. Like we look at some of the things and we look at it deeper, whereas other people will look at it from the surface and not get it. The same way that some people will look at daggone the comedic science. They'll look at it as, cartoon characters with bird heads and not really get down to what the symbolism means. And so this is what has to happen also when we look at the Bible in context. She's looking at the days of creation as literal, whether it's 24 hours, or whether she's talking about 6,000 years. Is absolutely, that's what I'm debating her on, whether the earth is 6,000 years old. Why should I have to debate somebody on it? You know what I'm saying? It's absurd. But we talk about the 6 days, we're talking about epochs.
Why are you putting me in back?
So
they're not.
You know what I told you on the phone. That's why. You know what I told you.
So they're not literal. They're not literal days. They're not literal 1,000-year periods. Oh, God's days are as 1,000 years, but you missed the part where it says a day to God is as 1,000 years as well. So a 24-hour period to God can be as 1,000 years, as much as a 1,000-year period can be as 24 hours. That does not give you a date. It does not give you a time, right? So when we look at what the Bible is describing in the days of creation are epochs, not chronological time periods. You cannot try to smush this into, oh, this is 1,000 years, or this is a, no, that is not what's being said. Go ahead, my brother Tehuti.
I wish.
Can I? I'm sorry, I dropped off. Go ahead, Tehuti. You wanted to say something?
Okay.
You wanted to say something,
Question
Tehuti?
for
Oh, yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me? Revelation X?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So Sa answered what you asked him. That he answered from that.
I really,
so
I'm sorry, and I didn't get this answer because I dropped off. My humblest apologies. But
Okay.
I hope that you understand the question, sir.
Yeah. What I was saying was, for your God to make 2 creations or 3 creations, that's showing you he made another mistake. Why wouldn't he why do God have to make 5 and 6 creation stories? He would make 1 creation story and let that creation story go and progress. He don't need to make no 4, 3, and 2 creation stories. Because now you will only prove again that God is making these goddamn mistakes. And you don't want to know that now. And so when God when he first talked about it in the first book of Genesis, he said, let us create man in our own image and our likeness. Right? He was explaining to you what he was going to do. In the book of Genesis, he acted out the creation. But you think it's 2 creation stories. So now you're telling me that God made a mistake and he figured out that he needed to make another creation story. This time I'm going to make it with this man and put him in the dead. Brother, what is you talking about?
Can I respond, sir?
Yes, you can respond.
Okay, now, and like I said, it's a classroom to me. I'm learning as well. So I don't want it to become like it's a gotcha moment or anything like that, okay? So let me try to do this with your logic. And firstly, before I even do that, I agree with you. It's 1 creation story. But I disagree with Adam being the same person in Genesis chapter 1, because he was created after the Sabbath, number 1. And the person was created before. Number 2, this is just my little point. He and Eve was only confined to eastward of Eden, where in chapter 1, God gave the first man and woman direct instructions to be fruitful and multiply and replenish the entire earth. That's number 2. All right. So let's go with your logic, sa.neter. And within going with your logic, let's do the math. Okay. Adam and Eve was created in chapter 1, but he didn't call them Adam and Eve. He just created them. And then in chapter 2, he showed you how he created Adam by, taking him from the dust. And you can correct me anytime I'm going wrong. So now he's telling you I made him from the dust, and then I put him to sleep after your nonsense about him having to look for a helpmeet with the animals and all that crap. My question would still be to you, sa.neter. Right now, there's Adam and Eve, because this is what you're telling me. There's only 2 people on earth at this point in time in the Garden of Eden. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So now there's 2 people on earth. Now we all know the story. Eve went, she did what she wasn't supposed to do, and then when they went back in the garden, God went through, he was looking for them, they hide. They said, we was hiding from you because we knew that we were naked. He said, how did you know that you're naked? Did you stretch your hands out and eat out of the tree of, good and evil? So then they got to set the curses on them, and then they said, listen, let's get them. And this is proof that they were only confined to eastward of Eden. They said, these guys are now like us because they ate from the tree of good and evil. Let's put them out of the garden, lest they stretch forth their hands and eat of the fruit of everlasting life. So I just proved to you that it was confined to 1 space. Okay, so now they're placed out of the garden. And you already agree with me, it's only 2 people on earth. Now they have Cain and they have Abel. And we all know the story with Cain and Abel. Cain kills Abel. What happened afterward? He left and he went to the land of Nod and he found his wife. Now, how does that happen if there's...
I don't believe you're doing this, man.
No, let's do the math, sa.neter.
No, stop.
No, come on, teach me. This is a classroom. You can teach me.
All right, let me correct you, brother. when you said he has become like us, who is the us, brother? Who's the us? The us got to be the Elohim. Right? The us got to be the Elohim.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, then. So they're in the garden.
Yes,
so
sir.
the us is the Elohim. God wanted Adam and Eve to remain dumb and stupid. That's why he told them, don't eat from this tree. And when he found out that they did, he was mad. He said, damn, now they have become like us. Because he wanted them to be stupid. He wanted to be the smartest one in there. The Elohim wanted to be the only smart ones up in there.
Stop.
And so now
you're moving the goalpost and you're proving my point.
Hold on, I'm getting to it. And so now, when you go into Cain and Abel, brother, that's like 1,000 years later. Of course, Adam and Eve had children. Of course, these people had babies. Adam lived to be 900 years old, brother. What is wrong with you? One day, it didn't happen when they created Adam and Eve. They was able to live 1,000 years. And so when Cain got kicked out, he ended up going somewhere else to another city. Where's people at? Where people generated?
Don't do this to yourself, sir.
Because it's already over goddamn 1,000 years already. What's wrong with you?
Don't do this to yourself, sir. Don't do this to yourself. There's nothing that you can, sir, nothing that you said is in scripture. Nothing that you're saying is.
Brother, you got to listen. It's quite obvious Cain and Abel was not on the planet when Adam and Eve was here, right? Were they here when they was here? No. God said, go out and multiply. And so when they go out to multiply, you got Cain and Abel pops up somewhere. And then they go into a land where it's people already generating the earth. That's only because this ain't happening one day. It's already damn near 500, 600 years already. You making it look like this is just one day event, man. Come on, man. Cut it out.
Can I get in here and say something?
I've never seen you sweat like this, sir. But I'll tell you this much: nothing you just said is in the Bible. Okay, so I think I rest my case, man. Good night, Nepal.
Okay. Yeah, peace, Revelation. I want to say first, peace to Tehuti. Great presentation. Congratulations on your victory on that debate that you did against Naphtali. That was great. So I did want to acknowledge that first and foremost. Is he still here? I'm not.
Yes,
Okay, see him.
Peace is not on this. Peace, Napa. Thank you. Peace and greetings to you.
It's Nepal. It's Nepal.
It's okay.
It's what?
I don't.
What happened?
Nepal. You said
It's
Nepal.
okay.
It's Nepal.
I got cussed
Nepal.
out for that.
Okay.
I got cussed out.
It's,
Okay.
it's okay. A lot of people make mistakes with that name, but yeah, good job.
Okay.
I did want to come in and just for the record, I was talking to sa.neter about the creation story. There are two creation stories at least. He wanted to try, because that's why he mentioned Noah, saying that the Noah story is not a creation story. It does match other creation stories. The deluge, the flood story is a type of creation story, but I do want to point some things out to you, sa.neter, that in the creation, the first Genesis 1 and 2, you do realize that there are stark differences, especially dating even. You understand that the dates are wrong. I mean, not wrong. The dates don't coincide. One is written in like 6th century BCE and one is written in 10th century BCE. Are you aware of that?
The reason why the dates are wrong, Nepal, and the reason why
they're not wrong. They're not. That's why I corrected myself. They don't.
The reason why the dates are different, and the reason why God makes mistakes, Nepal, and the reason why we see all these crazy contradictions in the Bible, Nepal, is because man created God, and man makes mistakes. And so, if man make mistakes, God damn it, God is going to make a mistake. Because man made God. Man created God. Man created the devil. That's why we have these contradictions in the Bible. That's why we have God making all kinds of mistakes. Simple as that. That's why you see different dates in the Bible. Simple.
All right. So it wasn't a mistake. I made a mistake saying that to you, and then I quickly corrected myself.
I said God make mistakes.
Okay, it wasn't a mistake.
I said the reason why we see God making mistakes is because man created God. And if man created God, we know man is not perfect. Man make mistakes all the time. And so that's why you're going to have God making mistakes all the time.
Okay. Like I said, one was written in 6th century. The Genesis 1 sa.neter was written in the 6th century BCE. And then Genesis 2, Genesis 2, I believe, was written in 10th century, give or take. So those aren't mistakes. I'm showing you that they were written at 2 different times. So they're not the same story. They're 2 different creation stories. There are arguments about that, and I want to take the show up so much, but I just want to put that out there for everybody who's listening. And Genesis 1 has no mention of Yahweh or Yahweh whatsoever. It's a different story. And there's just quick proof for you, just to let you know that, no, it's not the same story. It's not a continuation. You've been hanging out with too many Christians who want to try to match it up, and they want to be apologists for it. So they have to say, oh, this is just a continuation. It's a completely different story. I've proven it. They've been written at different times, and they have different style, and one doesn't even mention Yahweh. Genesis 2 mentions Yahweh. Genesis 1 says nothing about Yahweh, just calls it Elohim. So there's a little bit of proof. I don't want to take up his show too much. We can do this later, sa.neter. I told you stop doing that. You're going overboard. You're listening to too many Christians on TikTok and too many Christians that are coming over to debate. So peace and love to you. It's all about the information.
Why do you think that I got this from TikTok? Like I couldn't get it from my own mind from looking into it, because I have not heard none of this from TikTok. I got it from my own thoughts in my own mind by reading into it and looking into it.
Okay, my bad. So whoever you looked at, though, what was some Christian who's trying to match it up? They're trying to match the stories up because
nobody. I'm looking at the story, and I come up with it every time I look at it and then read about it and then hear about it.
I know you do. I'm not saying you're not coming to your own conclusion. I'm saying the first inkling of information that you saw. Because if you came with your own information, then why don't you acknowledge that there's no mention of Yahweh in the first story, but then there's mention of Yahweh in the second story? How can they be a continuation? How can they be written at the same time? How can they be the same story?
Easy, simple. I just told you, this is not an accurate book, Nepal. You acting like these events are real. This is not real stuff. This is all made up. It's like reading a comic book. It's like reading Harry Potter. It's only a story. None of this stuff is real. No man lived in the well for 3 days, Nepal. No man really did that. I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to tell you that.
Doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about.
Yes, it do. It have everything what I'm talking about, because I'm telling you that this book is not what you may think it is. It's not the word of God. God ain't got nothing to do with this book. Man created God. Man created the devil. And once you understand that, then you will understand the flaws that's in it. Then you will understand the mistakes and the contradictions that's in the book. But you keep looking at the book as though God got something to do with it. Oh, the magnificent, unfathomable God. Ain't no goddamn unfathomable God. There's no such thing as that.
Well, sa.neter,
in the language, you know.
sa.neter, you just went off and started saying that I believe in the book. It's not. We were having a conversation about 2 different books in the Bible, and that's your conversation, not mine. So I came in to explain to you that the books are different. All this stuff about what I believe is irrelevant. And by the way, the information, the way you're pushing it, that there are 2 stories flowing together, that is what Christians teach. That is what those who want to force people.
I
didn't cut you. I didn't cut you off.
Yara
is one of the main people. Yara is one of the main people who is trying to force the book to be something that he wants it to be. But I don't want to bring up Yara. I want to get back to the books you mentioned. I don't want to bring up my belief. I want to get back to the books you mentioned. And outside of the Bible, even if you're an atheist, Archaeological evidence shows that those books, Genesis 1 and 2, were written hundreds of years apart. And so, with that said, back to what I told you, if they're written at different times, and one of them has absolutely different wording and uses absolutely different names, they're not one story, they're two. And that's facts. You don't have to be a believer in the Bible to see that information. You can get on the internet right now. Anybody who doesn't believe in the Bible, go Google it. See if Genesis 1 is written at the same time as Genesis 2. And then it'll tell you, oh, no, it's not. So how can it be the same story if they're written hundreds of years apart? It can't.
Thank you, Nepal. I'm not a Hebrew Israelite. I just know the text.
Exactly. And that's it. I'm done. All right. Peace out. I love everybody. Peace and love. Peace of darkest minds of light. Great job, Tehuti. I love how you got in there.
You ain't never changed. You ain't changed my mind. I still feel the same way.
I know.
So you
And
ain't
it's good.
changed my mind.
And you're not alone. You're not alone. You actually, honey, you
There's
actually
only
stand with
one story. There's only one creation story.
baby. You stand with Naphtali. So you should already, if you're standing with her in that belief, you should double check it. Because Naphtali thinks it's one story too. And with that said, peace to everybody.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Peace.
Nepal stands with JJ. She stands with JJ 7,000.
Y'all funny as hell, man.
She stands with JJ 7,000.
So she says you stand with Naphtali. You says she stands with JJ.
Yeah, she stands with JJ 7,000.
Crazy.
Because JJ believes it's two stories too in the Bible.
Let me say this, son, and Zion, the brother left. What happened to the brother Tutmos and
I am right here. Zion here. Zion right there.
he's
Smoking on his coolies.
Okay, he's on the phone though. He's on the phone. Okay, I wanted to talk to him real
You
quick.
got Revelation here.
Revelation's there too. I can't see the. Put everybody on the screen so I can see. I can't see everybody who's here.
Yeah, man.
Okay, wonderful. And Zion's on the phone. Revelation X. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna have to part. Tomorrow is the Tehuti pod class on my channel. I'll go ahead and show that afterwards at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Question and answer, and we're going to be dropping bombs on a question was asked to me about Epstein. So that's going to be a scary, very revealing class. So tune into that Tehuti pod class. But I wanted to talk to Revelation and Zion, and then show something. Peace, are you there, Revelation and Zion?
Yes, sir. Yes, I.
Okay. Are both of you Rastafarians?
Yes, I'm a Rastafari.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Zion and Revelation X, being that all of us acknowledge that the woolly-haired black man or the melanated man is the original man, we had the original teachings. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you believe that, Revelation? Do you believe that the original man on the planet looked like us, or do you think they look like Chinese or Europeans? Or I don't want to assume. Revelation.
I'm sorry. I'm actually eating something, but yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
Zion, the same thing. You believe the original people look like how we looked, or do you think it was just a mix of Europeans were here and everybody was here?
I think that, you know what I'm saying, the original people were dark skinned and had woollier hair, you know what I'm saying? Can there have been textures and different, you know what I'm saying, that we have diversity all throughout Africa, and we have diversity in amongst African Americans. You know what I'm saying? We have light skin to dark skin, but we know what black is and we know what ain't black. You know what I'm saying? We know I can tell a sister, she can be light skinned like Mariah Carey. I know my people. You know what I'm saying? And so there are different, you know, there can be many different genotypes or phenotypes. But yeah, the basic is the dark skin and the woollier hair.
Can I ask Tehuti a question before you go?
Yeah,
before you leave,
I wanted to see where he was going with it. Yeah. What's this got to do with Haile Selassie? Because you said something about Rastas.
Okay, so the why is everything so violent? For the face, my face. No, but the face is gonna get fixed. Yeah. The last Rasta I argued with about Haile Selassie, he took my my book folded up in weed and blew it in my face and showed me his gun, and I still continue to debate him. All right, so
I got things like that. But it's not gonna make the same, you know what I'm saying, effect behind the screen. You know what I mean?
Okay, so
because I want to do real quick. I want to respond to what that other dude did on what's his name's channel, on Killer Priest's channel, about Haile Selassie. I want to make a counter argument to that. So whatever you're going to say, me and you can actually have a discussion on it if you want to have a discussion on that, because I'm probably the only person. But most Rastas don't debate; they'll come in and chime in. But I'm like the only Rastafari who actually bangs out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, we can have that conversation, bro. Any given Sunday. You hear me, Tehuti?
Yo, Tehuti, you there? Tehuti. Yo, this goes out to all of the Bible thumpers. This goes out to all of the hold on. This goes out to Revelation. This goes out to all of the Hebrews. This goes out to Iron Warchild. And here it goes.
The King James Version of the Bible is so grossly inaccurate that I feel very comfortable wiping my ass with its pages. It's as good as toilet paper. I'll wipe my ass with it.
Who is that? Who is that?
Who said that?
That's Zion Lex, one of the formidable Hebrew brothers. Zion Lex. Let me play it again.
The King James Version of the Bible is so grossly inaccurate that I feel very comfortable wiping my ass with its pages. It's as good as toilet paper. I'll wipe my ass with it.
That's my man Zion. See what I'm saying? That's why I told you the King James Version that y'all quoting. Come on, man.
That's a fact, sa.neter. What you got to do is go into that's why you got to get your concordance. You got to go into the actual Hebrew, because going into what this English is trying to tell you, it's going to be very misleading. And you go,
no, but that's why I want to do it though. That's why I'm using it, because that's the book that they use. You see what I'm saying?
They love the King James.
You're not stepping.
I use the King James loosely. I use it loosely. But I really don't stick to the English. I want to get down, like, you know, my rabbi. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to Ras Ayadonis. You know what I'm saying? My rabbi reads the Hebrew. He goes back and goes to the context. That doesn't mean that you're still not going to get some inaccuracies. And we don't do sola scriptura. I don't worship
the King James Version of the Bible is so grossly inaccurate that I feel very comfortable wiping my ass with its pages. It's as good as toilet paper. I'll wipe my ass with it.
I ain't got no argument with the brother. None. None.
Who do you want to say that?
I want to ask Tehuti about that Neteru thing before he got a chance to leave.
Hold on, Tehuti getting ready to leave. Go ahead, Tehuti. What you got to say, brother?
Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, so we all acknowledge that the original people look like us, and Revelation X and Zion Warchild. Do you also acknowledge that whoever you acknowledge as the supreme being gave us spirituality first, before the Chinese, before the European, before the Viking? Whoever was the author of divinity to us, did they give it to us first on the planet? Would you say Revelation X?
Yeah, that would make sense. Why not?
Zion, you say the same?
I object. I deal with emergent intelligence. I object to putting a categorization on who determines what God is. God can go through all generations. My God is a God of all humanity and all living things. This freaking is not subject to niggas.
What? Wait, what? Okay,
you know I'm
that's not what he meant, Zion.
You know I'm gonna be war child. You know I'm gonna be war child. I'm sorry. It's not subject. It's not subject to any one given, you know what I'm saying, tribal group. That humanity and when so when I deal with a collective intelligence or emergent intelligence, so I don't deal with supernatural gods. I deal with extranatural gods, which is a collective intelligence of people believing in something. That becomes an intelligence, a collective intelligence of itself. It becomes a body. Yes. And that body thinks according to how the group thinks and moves. That is the God that I deal with. And as a ride, it is not determined by just the black people who first started it. It's determined by everybody else who's engaged in it today.
What type of people would you say were the first to receive this and start teaching it? What did they look like? Was it the Vikings?
See, now you're gonna get me on my Northwest and my pseudo killer stuff. I'm not falling for that. I'm not falling for that emotional racial classification stuff. And I don't have nothing to do with the price of a can of beans when it comes to God to me.
Do you acknowledge that the Vikings and the people of the Nile Valley received spirituality at the same time? Equally?
No, they didn't have to have the same time. But
so who received it first?
Did some of the Vikings thinking transposed onto how we believe in God today? All of these cultures have affected. Look at all of the Chinese stuff. I'm Chinese, bro. Look at all of this stuff. I'm not. You can't pigeonhole me in niggerism.
Okay, let's clarify the question then, because maybe I don't know what it is that you teach. Do you teach that there is a supreme consciousness that transferred divine consciousness to human beings? Maybe that's what I believe that
there is. Yes, I believe that there is a super conscious, and that super conscious is expressed in living things that are formed from the physical manifestation. There is a metaphysical. I believe doesn't necessarily mean that it has to have all of the daggone, doodads and everything to support my belief. However, I believe with a grain of salt, with a mustard seed, right? So yeah, no. The universe is collective. You know what I'm saying? A God theory could have formed on Earth, but who's to say that there isn't a God theory on some other planet with some other folks? You know what I'm saying? Or some other beings. You believe more in aliens than I. I'm more like Scully. You're more like Mulder. I'm going to be the objective person and be like, well, if I didn't see the gray, if the gray didn't touch me in the wrong place, I don't believe in it until I see it. Right?
Goodness, I think in the last.
I say, let's go. Let's go. I
think in the last, I didn't even get a chance to.
Yeah, I wanted that because I know I've heard the brother make this statement. I just wanted to reiterate, make sure it was a fact, and I want to ask him a question about it. You made the statement before the past that you said the Neteru are literal and that they are extraterrestrials that walk the planet. That was the statement that you made. And
I don't know if you ever heard me make that statement.
You don't know. So what was the statement that you made? If I'm incorrect, I'm paraphrasing.
I'm not sure because I don't even talk like that. The Neteru were literal. I don't even talk like that. That's
okay. You said that they were extraterrestrial, correct?
Did I say that?
Yes. Did you not?
They can be. They can be. Neteru can be extraterrestrial, yes, because Neteru is not one thing.
So what were the Neteru? When in the conversation of did the Neteru exist or are the Neteru these fake? When it comes down to them, what was I know the statement you made. And I'm gonna find the video. I'm gonna play it on the Rhetoric Frontier for everybody so we can all see it. But and it's very interesting that you dancing back on it now. But in the conversation, going back to what you was having with Jabari, because that was something I was watching very into it. And as far as the Neteru being literal, did they walk the planet? What is your stance on that?
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's a better. And pardon the as my computer, it may be cutting us out. I don't know. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, fine.
On my side, I can't. Can you hear me? Okay. Ashe Bomb Squad.
Yes, sir. I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Can he not hear us?
Okay. So again, now I can. I heard you say, "Can he not hear us?"
Yeah, we can all hear you.
Okay, good. So I don't make a stance coming from me on what the neter are. I come from the writings of what the ancient people said is neter, not from what Tehuti says. So what the ancient people said was neter, and then I can start screen sharing and showing some things. Neter was a symbol of an axe.
Mm-hmm.
The neter was a symbol, and it was a symbol of an axe, and it was a word for power. And many beings on this planet were called neter. Senuseret was called Neteru. Ramesses is called Neteru. So there's a misconception that there is one thing called the Neteru, and it's only one thing that came about through Egyptology. There's nowhere in Kemet. That's why when people have these conversations, they don't open up any books. I'm about to open up and show you things. I can show you things. So there's nowhere that the ancient Kemetic people said these are the Neteru.
All right, hey yo,
So did I say?
Hold on, yo, this is gonna take long explaining that. I got to roll out, y'all. I'm sorry, man. I got to roll. But before I roll, I got to promote. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Tehuti? Close out.
I was gonna say, let me. I'll close out the brother Bomb Squad and everyone else. I'm gonna close out, and I'm gonna tell everybody where to find me, where they can continue these conversations. We're on sa.neter's time, and he has to. You want to do your promotions first, or you want me to do a closeout first?
No, close out. Go ahead.
Close out first. Okay. Peace and love to everyone. It's been wonderful. Peace to everyone that participated. Peace to everyone that viewed with all of your great questions. It's a great thing to always come in and interact with everybody here on sa.neter TV. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. Let me share my screen, so just to tell everybody where I'm going to be.
Artwork.
Is it sharing?
Not yet. It's coming up.
Let me know if it's sharing.
It's sharing now.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. So tomorrow, okay, perfect. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., I have what is called the Tehuti Pod class from the House of Aten. The classes are based on 45-minute to 2-hour answers on questions that are sent in with reciprocity. As you can see, the topics: universal vibration, hermetic. Is that true? What is the Kabbalah? The Wakanda origins, dietary, the solutions for eczema. What is the real Kemetic tree of life according to the ancestors? What is destiny and purpose according to the ancestors? The Kemetic origin of hindsight 2020, near death, CIA documents, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, all type of topics. You can come here to the Tehuti Pod class tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Link on there, and then come on, and you will experience something very, very interesting. And tomorrow's going to be. I was finally decided I'm going to do the Epstein class with the movie called. There's a movie that came out in 2019. I'm going to do the movie, and the movie elaborating on Epstein and all the information on that. So come to that pod class tomorrow. Peace and love, everybody. Salute to sa.neter. Salute to whoever's left on the screen. Revelation X. The brother Ashe. Are you still there, brother Ashe?
Yeah, peace, peace, peace.
Peace and blessings to you,
Brother
bro.
Ashe. Okay, good. Not familiar with brother Ashe. He seems youthful and fiery and ready to rumble. So he could definitely come to the pod class, interact, and be a part of it. So everybody, peace and love, Hotep. And I love all the energy here. I love the challenges. I love the questions. And peace and love to everybody here. Hotep
All right,
to
peace,
everyone.
brother. We out, y'all. All right, y'all ain't got to stay. I'm just doing a little promotion right quick.
Perfect. Peace to you, son.
All
Peace,
right, peace,
everybody.
peace,
Hotep.
brother. Hotep.
Peace.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Last thing we want to let y'all know what's going on. We already know what's going on tomorrow. Is your last day. You should have got your tickets. You still got time between tonight and tomorrow afternoon. Once we get like at least 2 to 3 hours in, we're going to be unable to help y'all because we're going to be too busy. All right? So get your tickets now. Don't wait till the last minute. Unc missed out. I'm going to call Unc right now, see if he got his ticket. I got to give Unc a call. Let me see if Unc got his ticket in his mail. I might do this show tonight right here. I think I'm gonna go back over this show. Yeah, I got to do this show tonight. Captain Tazariak and sa.neter. This is not a debate. Is the Caucasian more closer to the Hebrew Israelites than the Africans? According to Tazariak teachings, yes. Y'all want that? Y'all want that tonight or what? Let me know, because I could go live right now. Y'all want this tonight? Let me know, man. Going once. Going twice. Uh-oh, somebody say yes. Yes. Going 3 times. No, I'm talking about tonight. Y'all want this one tonight? All right, I'm gonna go live right now. Let me set it up right now so I can run y'all over to right here. Let me run y'all over here. We're gonna go live right now. Let me put this down. Captain Tazariak. Yeah, let me go live with this right now, man. Stop playing games with this. Because Captain is doing too much, man. Captain got to slow down a little bit. Captain funny. Look at when I put Caucasians, I made sure I put the caveman. I put from the Caucasus Mountains. Let's get this. Okay. Family, I think we're about to be live in a minute. Let me hit the live button. And we are live. All you got to do is just refresh and go to another one. We are live. Let me drop this in here. Okay. There it is, family. There it is. Let me drop the link so y'all can come on through. There's the link. If you want to come through, let's have some fun tonight. Let's have some fun tonight. I dropped the link. We in there like swimwear. Let's end this show here.